Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, all you beautiful people. Is what I was supposed to say. That's my opening line, and I didn't say it right. But anyway, we are here with the okay FuuTheBubble and the great MaracaFarmer.
I'm out.
I couldn't inflate. I couldn't
No,
inflate his ego
bullshit.
too much. I couldn't inflate his ego too much. Khan, welcome, welcome, hello. We are here today to do an anime 3x3 comparison. Basically, we chose 9 categories of anime, and we chose, out of all time, which anime we thought best represented our taste or was our favorite in that category. And what'd you say, Fu?
No, it's fine. It's right. Yeah, so a 3x3, right? I tried to explain this once before, like on how it's about on Trash Taste, the podcast before.
Yeah.
I
just
but
thought
you
you
summed
said
it up really.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, you summed it up really easily.
Ara.
Sorry. A total of 9 anime in a 3x3 format, to which we decide for each of ourselves which one is either important or the best or whatever we felt like is appropriate for that certain category. Droid, would you like to introduce the categories actually?
Oh, I can introduce the categories. That would be smart, right? So you
Yeah.
all get to hear me butcher a bunch of Japanese words. But
Yes,
I'm gonna do my best. Let's see here. I'm scrolling. No one do anything. Somebody sing a song to pass the time while I'm scrolling.
I mean, I guess we could introduce us
Oh,
to the
yeah.
people on your channel, right?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
most
yeah,
people
I
know
guess.
people, but please, I guess we'll start with Fu since you're near me on stream. Can you introduce yourself and tell the stream what you're about?
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, my name is Fushigi Second, but you can either call me Fu or Bubble. I own a boba tea shop called Bubble Tea. I'm a just chatting PNG tuber who likes to host a variety of things like game shows, talk shows, and just in general a lot of chill chats. Hello.
And
Morocco, go ahead.
Miss
Hello.
MaracaFarmer.
Hi guys. I'm MaracaFarmer. I'm just a person that exists on the internet nowadays, yeah.
You gotta work on that.
Yeah, I know.
You happen to
I
like
know.
atomic bombs. I like to be atomic, if that's what you mean.
Do you want me to bomb you, Nico? I can bomb you.
Are you a quantum bubble? That really
Well, okay,
changes a lot of things.
Well, I'm assuming that he means Eminence from Shadows, which is an anime where it's definitely super. It's really fun to watch because it doesn't take itself like super seriously, right? It's all about this anime of the main character, and he just wants to be cool, you know, but like not in the cool like the regular save the hero type of way, but like a shadowy figure type of cool, where like day to day he's an ordinary citizen, but by night he is the darkness, the shadow in the night that will serve justice to all.
Sounds like a Batman ripoff.
However, he's just acting. He doesn't actually know that the things going around him are actually super serious. So it's a lot of fun to watch these misunderstandings and how he's going about solving actual problems.
So it's kind of like the old Batman lore. Like, have you seen the Batman lore of Batman secretly just a crazy person and Alfred is playing all the different Batman villain roles to make him feel better because he was like basically his caretaker? There's a whole thing on that. I don't know. Sounds similar.
I think so, but like give it a shot. It's definitely probably a lot like
so is what you're saying Kage no Jurashokuri no Nodokurake?
Eminence and Shadows for the English people.
Okay. Because Nico apparently knew that one. I didn't know that that's what he's been references. I know he says he likes atomic bombs a lot. He keeps blowing me up in Minecraft with them. So I thought it was just a reference to that.
Referencing.
Yeah, okay.
Now you'll know.
Okay.
You can watch the anime and you'll figure it all out.
All right. Wait, Maraka, did you finish your introduction? You did, right?
No,
Yeah.
we're working
Yeah.
on it actually. Like,
No,
what are
no.
you about?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
No,
Like,
what are
bro,
you
I just
about?
exist on the
Are you a
internet.
person? Like, I was reading your bio sometimes. I'm like, are you a farmer? Are you
Am
Yeah.
I a
what's going on?
farmer?
How many maracas have
Okay.
you
Or
farmed by this
maracas?
point?
Yeah.
I have farmed a good 3.
Okay.
Prove it.
Yeah, we want to see you juggle them now.
I don't know how to juggle. I'll just throw it at you guys, like, honestly.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not pop. You know, very fragile. This is
I
brutality.
thought you
at
had
its
a bunch
finest.
of different bubbles. Like if that one pops, don't you just like become one of the other suds around you? You kind of grow like a
Kinda, yeah. Like I
regeneration.
disappear, but look,
Yeah.
it hurts my feelings. You know.
I think of it like the Men in Black guy, the guy who gets his head shot off and it grows back.
Yeah, Nico, he makes fissures with magic. He's just like super overpowered, right? But like
Ah,
as much as
shit.
I don't usually like overpowered isekais and everything, this one makes it a lot of fun. So I
I'll have
definitely
to check
recommend
this
the
one out.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to save that somewhere so I can check it out. But all right, now that we're all caught up there, I will now announce our categories. So the first category we had was Kodomomuke. So, Fu, do you want to correct me? Okay.
Yep.
Kodomomuke. Okay, I wasn't too
A
off.
plus Maraca.
The second category was Shonen. The third
Well, do you want to explain
category.
what Kodomomuke is actually real first?
Okay.
Yeah, explain it, Joy. Explain it, Joy.
Me explain it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
yeah, you
It's
chose
your
it.
show. Come on.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Gosh.
Kodomomuke is collecting animes, such as, Digimon, or Digimon they don't really collect, they only have one, so I don't even know if it counts as that. But Pokemon, Card Captor Sakura, is Yu-Gi-Oh considered one? Because they're
I
collecting
would consider it
cards.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Wait, I
consider it.
thought the Kodomo Muke ones were like the children's animes.
When I
Or was I
googled it, it
gaslighting?
said it was capture stuff. Like it was like collecting or
It
capturing
is.
things.
Well, okay, no, but like she technically you're both not wrong. It's just in my personal opinion, Maraka is more correct. That Kodomomuke is anime that's more intended for children, but it is generally anime that are like very much yes, capture style, like you said. Like you capture friends, you capture Pokemon, you collect whatever, and then so on and so forth.
Oh
Right? They just
man,
you want to explain it further, but in general, it is children's anime.
Broovy just got
Okay,
my favorite Pokemon, my favorite starter, Cyndaquil.
no, that's
Congratulations,
my
Broovy.
friend. Bitch, get out of here! Don't go here.
All right, and Khan said they thought they were the farmers, and Anna Lakikis says, "Did you see Undead Unlock?"
Ooh,
I
I read
haven't
it.
heard of that, so
I
no.
have not.
Okay, so Undead Unlock.
Who's the
I
guy?
could go on
Explain
and
it,
go for it.
Fu.
I would
Yeah,
explain.
yeah, do it.
I can't explain everything. No, we got things to do. But
Okay.
Undead Unlock is about. No, keep going, keep going.
All right. Well, I mean, the next part is we get to spin the wheel and see who's gonna go first.
Well,
So-
you explain the rest of the rest of the subjects. Come on, man.
Dang it. All right, I
You
thought I
explained
could get
one
by.
thing.
I thought I could get by. I thought I was sneaking by, and no one was gonna let me do it. All right. The second category is shonen. Now, for what I understand, there's twofold on shonen. It's basically pointed at males mainly, and it's about a protagonist that keeps powering up until they beat their ultimate villain. So shonen has a big trope of, oh, I got beat by them, but I'm gonna go train and get better than them. Is that a fair explanation, or am I completely wrong again?
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give
Foo's
you like a C plus.
All right, what was off by my explanation?
Well, like if we take it off with like shonen, right? Like you again, you're not wrong, right? It's targeted for a young male audience. for instance, you have a category later called seinen, right? So
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see what
That's
that's about.
young
There.
male adult. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but whereas shonen would be like high schoolers,
Okay.
right? There's a difference between a teenager and adult, or things that are targeted towards teenagers and then adults.
And then we have the third category, which is shoujo. And I believe that is basically the female version of shonen. So it is a lot of the like magical girl animes. So Sailor Moon, stuff like that. Correct?
I'd see it more as romance, honestly, in my opinion.
Romance.
Targeted towards a female audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was romance. So what does like female superheroes typically be then?
I don't think that's like mainly a female thing. I think it'd be more shonen then at that point.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to like shoujo, it's more so like slice of life romance stuff rather than
But what do you call Sailor Moon?
stuff. Sailor Moon, bruh, that I'd say that's more kodomo muke. You know, it's not really for like them high schoolers, but more so them elementary school students.
That's
No,
a
she
hot
has a
take
point.
to
She has
me.
a point.
That's a hot
She has a
take to
point.
me. I think
Is
that
it?
one's. I mean, the transformation scenes and everything else are a little spicy. There's a little bit of fan service in it, but there is also the tuxedo mask like love romance thing. So I think that kind of gets you into shoujo more. But Sailor Moon does top the charts at all the shoujo listings that I saw personally. But I could be wrong. But
Well, anime can have more than one genre, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
I found that while trying to do this list as well. All right, the fourth one would be seinen. And I was told that's more young adult male style animes. Maybe a little bit more gritty, a little bit more violence, a little bit more gore.
More mature. Yes.
And our fifth one is Slice of Life. And from that one, the main thing I get is like school vibes. So anybody that's really like in a school setting and trying to navigate growing up and learning social situations and stuff like that is kind of Slice of Life. I know it goes beyond that, but that's where I guess in my head it is.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, it's like relatable anime in a way. Like, not, it doesn't have to be super like exacto, whatever, but like people who can relate to certain situations, in my opinion. Right? A lot of slice of life are stuff like, oh, daily lives of like high school boys or high school girls and stuff like that. That's why a lot of them take place in school settings.
When I was trying to
Because
think,
everyone's
couldn't
been
you
to
have a
school.
slice of life? Like, isn't like Way of the House Husband? Isn't that like slice of life too? So it doesn't even necessarily.
Oh
have
yeah,
to
no,
be school.
absolutely, right? It's
Yeah.
just a way of life, right? But like, just as an example, since the most popular, or not popular, like just the most frequent, I guess, slice of life out there, like it's always going to be at a school setting because everyone's been to school.
Yeah, and honestly,
Yep.
the most people like buying and interested in that are younger people, while we old people still like it. You know, the young kids is technically who it's targeted for.
Marketable, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, our sixth category is cooking, and I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. It's just any anime about cooking that we liked. I struggled with this one. There were so many, but I think I found my OG. I think I found my OG. There was. I love cooking animes.
It was hard to choose this one, bro.
Yeah, like there were so few choices, in my opinion.
Dude, I had like 6 or 10 of them that I had to choose from.
That's
Really?
crazy, bro.
Yes, there's so many good cooking animes out there. I watched them all. Nico says, Watamote, best slice of life ever. I'm going to join that boss fight with you, Khan, as a bard. All right. The next category is fantasy. And fantasy I basically take as anything that is fantastical. So, you know, fairies, flying, like D&D classes, or just anything in that general realm.
That's a fair
Like,
point.
if it could be from a fairy tale almost.
Yeah, but as long as it's abnormal from like our perspective of the norm, then it would be a fantasy in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think that's
Mhm.
to be differentiated between like medieval. A lot of people like to say medieval. Like if there isn't goblins and things around in that medieval setting, it's not really fantasy. You know, it's just
Mm.
back in time. Like Vinland Saga is not fantasy. I would say personally. What would you say?
I never watched
Mm.
it.
I must agree. I must agree. Right. Like there are a lot of things. Like for instance, I know there's a subject coming up that I have a lot of gripes with one of your choices, but for fantasy, I think it's fine.
All of my choices are spot on, so I don't want to hear that. But
Oh
we'll
my god, I'm
continue on.
getting
We'll continue
exposed.
on.
I'm getting
Ruby says
exposed.
Maraka hates fantasy.
I
Yeah.
do. I hate fantasy. Sorry,
You
guys.
why? What's wrong
I
with
hate
fantasy?
fantasy, isekai. I hate historical shit. I'm not into any of those.
You just like trash my anime
What have you
taste.
watched, real quick?
I'm telling you. I told you guys. I watched almost every single shoujo.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Shoujo and slice of life plus horror. That's where I'm at.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
but for
could
your
not do.
fantasy stuff, what have you watched for fantasy?
Yeah, Sword
Well,
Art
I
Online.
put
Have you
it
ever
up
seen a
for it.
Fate?
Of course, I've watched like Sword Art Online and all that stuff. Like I've
Okay.
watched a handful of those things, but personally, I just don't like fantasy. No, but we can go on. Come on, there's like the other ones that you haven't talked about yet.
All right, well, we're gonna revisit this. We're gonna revisit.
We
this.
are.
Yeah.
We're not gonna let Maraka get off with that just right out of the bat. I'm actually gonna move your stream element stuff so Maraka isn't covered up by the boss. So you guys are getting a little smaller. But anyway, the 8th category, almost the last, guys, we're almost just showing them, is comedy. And that's basically, to me, any satirical style anime that might be making fun of other anime styles, might be legitimately comedy in itself. I think there's a couple about like stand-up comedy and stuff. Would you all say
As
that's
long as it makes you laugh, in my opinion,
Yep.
then that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stream's kind of lagging. Yes, it is. I'm at 40% drop frames.
Oh God. Is your internet okay?
Right now it looks like it's coming back.
What I could suggest, right? Like maybe
No, it dropped.
that since we are doing the stream together, right? We could use that function instead of Discord. That way you can relieve the burden of Discord at the
Oh,
very
it's
least.
not that. It's literally going full out for a little bit and then coming back. Whenever it comes back, I have plenty of bandwidth. So lowering the bandwidth isn't going to help. It's actually just fully disconnecting and coming back. The thing is, we can give it a quick second to see if it rebounds, but if it doesn't, I have to go do a restart of stuff that doesn't look like it's been working anyway.
It's up to you.
Let me see.
Yeah.
I have green bars back. So let's see here. I'm back to green bars, no red. I think we're back. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. And then 9.
Okay.
The last category is oh man, it's going again, guys. It's just gonna. It might be a rough stream. I'll have a VOD. I'll put this one up on the YouTube channel. I'm recording in the background, so we'll be good to do that. Hopefully it rebounds. I'm not sure. Like I say, AT&T came and screwed up my internet because I don't even have AT&T, and they want you to switch, so they screw up everyone else's internet to try to get you to switch. But anyway, the last category is isekai, and to me that is basically like dying and coming back as something new. Whether that's in a fantasy world as a different animal or just anything, basically death and reincarnation.
Isekai?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because like if you think about the actual word, it's like a different world, right?
Yeah.
So they're just like completely born into a new world.
Yeah, but doesn't it have to be a rebirth into it?
Well, sometimes you could just be teleported.
Yeah.
You can? Okay.
Hit by a truck and then instantly you're some sort of god. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
you could
if
be
you're hit
hit
by
by
a
a
trick,
truck,
you
or you
die.
could be summoned as well.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
seen
yeah.
the summons one. Yeah.
So, I think at the main point is as long as you're transported to a actual other world, right?
Mhm.
Then it's considered an isekai, which is why Sword Art Online is kind of like a weird thing in
Yeah,
my
that's a
opinion,
weird one.
right? It's not. I mean, like you could sort of get the reasoning why they are like, I guess, transported into a game world in a way, right? Like,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
kind of, but at the same time, it's still based off of more sci-fi, in my opinion.
All right,
Yeah.
so
So
we've had Khan say Persona 4, not Golden, is a very funny anime. Oh, Nevermore's now following. Thank you for the follow.
Oh,
Never.
never. Hi.
I never.
And Brevi says, I wish I could put my input on anime, but I've only really fully seen 2.
Yeah,
And
she is not.
It's okay.
a
Even if you only seen 2, I'll still be able to roast you on it.
all right, ReZero's a good one, says Khan. Dandy says all Isekai will destroy the anime world. Watch something else instead.
Look, I don't like disagree that it's the trash bin of the anime world, but like I am trash and so are my tastes. So
We scared never. Why?
nah, she's fine. She's faking.
Is it their voices? I bet it's their voices. It's not mine.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
we already got an Ara redeem earlier from Khan, so we've
Yeah, I
heard
hate it. Yeah. Disgusting.
All right, but that is all of our categories, and we are basically going to spin to see who is going to show off their grid first and get roasted by the others. Because let's be honest, that's basically what it's going to be, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we're basically just roasting each other.
All right, here it goes. We're spinning.
Spin that wheel.
It is Maraca.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's hide this window and let's bring up MaracaFarmer's 9x9 list. Everybody look at this great art that they're both going to have and no one judge mine, okay? They don't get extra points for having good art. Just remember that.
I think I should get extra points, okay? Fuck you. Okay, whoops, I mean, I'm sorry. Wait, okay.
Just doxing everyone.
No,
Damn. Wow.
It's fine. I mean, okay, the first one, right? We're talking about like all 9, and then we're gonna go over everything, right?
Yeah, so I think we're
Right.
going over all 9.
Present it how you want to.
Yeah,
Present
how
it
you
you want to, you know?
Okay, so let's start. Oh, someone knows one of my okay, let's go. Okay, first choice, the kodomo muke one. Yeah,
Okay.
kodomo muke. That one I chose specifically. Yumeiro Pashier. I don't know if you guys have ever watched this. I'm assuming none of you guys did.
It's about making
Because
cake.
I don't know. Oh no, just cakes. It's about desserts, okay? It's about this girl who went to a culinary school and then she basically was like absolutely trash in her class and then she got paired with like 3 hot guys. And then
Oh my.
Oh.
yeah,
Spicy.
she got paired with like 3 hot guys and then she's like the worst person on the team, but somehow she ends up being like one of the best with the help of some fairies who know how to cook. Kind
Where
of
do
crazy,
the fairies
right?
come from, though?
So she's cheating.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's
The
Ratatouille.
thing is,
She's getting outside help.
listen, y'all. Okay, so basically, that school is like a super fancy cooking school where they're known to work with like the fairy realm, and then each student gets like a specific fairy that works with them to make their desserts, pretty much.
Okay.
And then this thing is about this one girl named Ichigo. And she's like the main character, and this girl that's like out here trying to make a strawberry tart that her grandma makes, since her grandma was also part of this school. And this show, y'all, oh my god. When I was a kid and I was watching this, I wanted to learn how to be a fucking patissier. Okay? I wanted to do that. So I was
Or
like,
did you want to
what's
have 3 hot guys do the work for
no,
you?
the 3 hot guys were not my type. The
Okay.
3 guys were not my type at all. I was like,
Oh,
they
they're like
pissed me
kids,
off.
to be fair.
Yeah, they were children, and I was a child back then too. But like, I was like, these guys pissed me off. Okay, so I was like, nah, this ain't it. But that show is like for sure one of like the best shows I've ever watched as a child, which is why it's my top choice for this specific category. It's not specifically like collecting stuff, but I chose what I knew.
Yeah, okay. So, but like, why is this the best one, compared to stuff like Pokemon or other like card character Sakura, Sailor Moon, so on and so forth?
Why is this the best one?
Yeah.
Well,
what's this?
let me tell you. Let me tell you about the greatness of this anime, bro. I'm telling you right now, the anime has some good ass food in it. That alongside with like an actual funny like whole plot in general. Like sure the main character is like the whole stupid ditzy girl, like that gets help from like hot guys and all that, right? But this is like this is ideal content for a child, okay? Absolute ideal content. And then you can actually learn how to make the actual recipes that they make in the thing, because they have a whole ass cookbook and all that. They teach you how to actually make it. You learn a lot from the show, which is kind of wild, but it's so good. But
Is anything in the show like, will it actually teach you how to cook?
Yeah, the whole thing is actually learning how to cook, pretty much. Like you're in like this school with this girl, pretty much.
So you can bake,
learning how to make.
So you can use the recipes
literally.
from it. Okay.
Yeah, you can use the actual recipes. They have literal recipes for each thing they make in it, and they have like little shorts.
Bake, right?
Like, I can.
You can? Legit?
I can. Yeah. Surprising, right? I don't burn shit down. Crazy.
Oh,
but
crazy.
Yeah.
Because I've seen your
No. Shut up. Shut up.
I forgot about the plate up thing. Man, guys, I'm really sorry about the stream connection stuff. I know y'all are probably going in and out. Again, I apologize. I feel so bad for this. This is like the first stream I've had this issue on, and it's my collab with y'all. But
I wonder why though, right? Like, I'm curious. Is it the fact that you're having the extra? But then again, you said it was probably your internet thing.
No, yeah, it was doing it earlier today when I was playing God of War alone. It's just my internet. It started 3 days ago. Like I say, I saw those trucks working at the end of the street on the telephone poles, and I knew as soon as I saw it, it's like my internet's gonna start going out. And sure enough, it's been doing it for the past like 2 days every once in a while. And I'm just gonna have to call and get it serviced. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, did you want to try anything real quick? Because we've already all said that we all have time, right? So if you want to try anything right now, right? Like, since it's still the beginning, we wouldn't mind. Right?
Yeah.
Con says very laggy. So, guys, we're going to do a be right back screen really fast. I'm going to reset the modem. It's the only thing I got to do. I'm hardlined in. There's no router between me. So I'm going to go do that really fast. Let's go to be right back screen, and I'll play some music. The stream will probably cut out for you all.
Soju like me. Grab a soju now. You'll need it.
Yeah, grab it.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. I am sorry for the momentary delay, but we are back.
Hey, all.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Someone
Should
I think Maraka, your fan's finally coming through.
My fan?
I can't hear nothing.
Oh, maybe it's just me then. Continue.
Okay.
Okay.
Should I continue on with like my list, or do you guys want to go with your?
No. Continue on through the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I can tell Fu wants to like interrogate me on some shit already.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, the wheel says it's you again
2.
anyway, so yeah.
Okay, I guess then. Okay, number 2, Shonen. My number 2 choice is right there, Noragami. I'm pretty sure a handful of people have watched this before. It's one of the really, really nice fantasy ones I've actually watched. was really into the whole, like, the man's becoming like a useless god working for pennies because same, bro, same. And
So
that whole thing,
relatable.
yeah, it's so relatable. It's like slice of life, but no, it's shonen.
So I guess
But
I don't know what you mean here. I don't know anything about this. So can you explain the anime to me
wait,
a little bit?
oh, okay, you've never watched Noragami?
I have not.
Okay. So basically, the main basis of this is like there's this one god, right?
Mhm.
He basically lost his privileges as a god. Basically, his shrine is basically like it doesn't exist anymore because people stopped believing in him. So
Okay.
he's working on the side to like make people's wishes come true. Like they pay him like a penny, and then he gives them whatever. He's basically just like a glorified homeless person at this point. Okay.
Okay.
Working day to day
Yeah,
as
yeah.
odd jobs, yeah.
Yeah. Then eventually there's this high school girl, as usual, like the super pretty high school girl that comes out of nowhere. Then she like finds out this guy is actually a god, right?
Mhm.
And she
Mhm.
eventually gifts him like a mini little shrine, and he ends up loving that. And then as the time goes on, he eventually becomes more powerful. Like he starts getting more people believing in him, and then I forgot like the main ending of it, but it's the main like shonen that you expect, right?
I have so many, and I need to make a list while we're going through that I
Well,
want
I
to
don't know
watch, like
about
as you are doing stuff.
main shonen, right?
Like I mean, like if you think about it, it's like they just constantly level up as the time progresses,
Yeah,
right?
but if we're talking about like mainstream shonen, right? No, don't get
Hmm.
me wrong. Noragami is fantastic and it's popular, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
if we think shonen, the very first things that like an anime person I would say would think about is stuff from Shonen Jump, right? So
Mhm.
Naruto, Bleach. Currently right now it's like MHA, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, and that type of stuff. Like superpowers and everything, right?
Yep,
But with
stream drop.
Noragami, like that's semi under the radar of Shonen Jump. It's still considered shonen for sure.
Yup. Which is why I chose it because I barely watch any shonen stuff, and this was like the top tier choice for me.
So my
I think
stream
that's fair.
completely went out.
Oh, it went out.
Like one, like 100%.
Let's go.
No.
It just
It's
it's
okay.
on attempt 5 to reconnect. Do we keep on lagged with a big delay, or do we want to maybe postpone this? It's up to you all.
Mm,
Do you want to postpone it, or I don't
Like
know,
Droid, I
because it's
think this
really
is
up to you.
yeah, it's up to you on this point because this is your thing, and we
Yeah.
are gonna
Well, it's
respect
just
you go with it.
for a live stream. I mean, I just started it back up with a 10-second delay, and we got up to 70% drop frames, but now we're down to 30. So I'm wondering how it's gonna do. I'm putting on this 10-second delay to see,
Okay,
and then I'm gonna call my
so
service provider.
we'll do this one last thing, and then if not, we'll think of some other options. Okay,
All right.
Yeah.
right?
Should
For
I
the
should I
now,
continue on or
yeah,
no?
for the now,
Yeah,
go
we
ahead.
are back live.
So to sum it
Okay.
up, Noragami is great. Maybe not mainstream shonen, because we think
Yep.
for shonen it's Shonen Jump,
Yep.
but you should still watch it anyways because
Yes,
fuck you,
it
fuck
is
your
a
opinion.
must watch.
Noragami is good.
It is a must watch. It is a must watch. Even though I don't like fantasy, this was actually one of the good ones, okay? For sure, watch it. Okay. Now, shoujo. Y'all. I'm a fucking whore for shoujo, okay? Listen here. Listen here. The amount of stuff I've watched and read on the shoujo genre, I've literally went through every single like place where I can like read it and watch every single thing that popped out in my mind and read every single thing that popped out in my mind too, okay? So literally I'm a god when it comes to shoujo. But
Okay.
the one thing that like always comes up to my mind whenever I think about shoujo is the one anime that has my heart, and it's Ao Haru Ride. This, oh my god, y'all, this anime is so good. The live action, they did them so wrong, and I hate it for it. Okay, I hate it. I hate the live action, but the actual anime, it's so good. Even though it didn't fully comprehend like the entire manga, I read it all, but like, listen, this is so good. How to Write, if you've never watched it or read it, it's about, how do I explain it? It's basically like a slice of life romance one where there's like this one guy and one girl who used to have a crush on each other in middle school. Then they met again in high school. And it follows like their journey throughout that pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
that sounds like every basic plot so
no,
far.
no.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
listen.
so it's high school.
Listen, this man's, I'm telling you,
Girls
this man's
meet
skull is
boy,
so fucking
falls in
hot.
love.
No. No, like, what's it called? Their main dynamic is like more so, I don't know how to explain it, more like friends rather than like actual lovers in this one, because they don't start dating until super late in like the actual manga. And in this one, they literally only covered the first semester, I think. It's really short, and I wish they had the second season, but the overall like overarching things that they had for How to Ride was really good, in my opinion. I don't want to like explain it all because people who've never watched it should watch it, and it's actually really good, guys. The man's is so hot. The girl, okay, this girl is exactly like me. Okay, Futaba, she is just as dumb and just as scared of people as me, y'all. So if y'all ever wanna, if y'all ever want to like psychoanalyze me, watch this anime, okay?
Okay, okay.
So this is your self-insert fantasy.
Yeah.
That's why you like it. I see.
No.
'Cause the way you explained it was sounded like every single other shoujo plot. Boy meets girl. Oh, she's kind of like nervous and like
Oh no.
quirky, But in
Oh
guys,
no.
that's every one of them.
No. I don't, because if I like explain it, it's gonna expose like the whole plot. That's the thing, and I don't wanna
Well, you gotta do
spoil
like
stuff.
some things, right? Like in order to hook on an audience, you gotta like
Okay, I'll
grab
explain it in a
something.
way. Okay,
Mhm.
so basically what happens in like the first episode, these two, they used to like each other in middle school, but the guy moves away to move somewhere else with his mom, right? The girl didn't know that, and they had a plan to meet on a specific day, but he basically ghosted her on that day. So from then on, she decided, okay, I hate men. Let's continue life and then completely forget about him. So she made a debut in like high school where she basically became this absolute dumb fuck and absolutely went out of her mind to become real stupid to make sure guys don't like her and all that, right? But somehow she ended up in the same high school with this guy, and she realized he completely changed his last name. So basically, it follows like them meeting up again, exposing that they used to have a crush on each other, and this is like they don't anymore, but they're still like getting on to it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, I
it's
see.
pretty much like that. Yeah. I don't want to expose anything though, because if I expose it, it's gonna tell like the whole plot.
So what's it called again?
How to
Ao
Ride.
Haru Raido.
Yeah.
Blue
Can you
Blue
put that
Spring
in chat?
Ride.
Yeah.
Which chat? Which chat?
I guess in the chat for everyone to see.
Okay.
What's up, Shell
Ow.
Shock? Sorry guys, I've been
How
doing
do
tech work
ride?
in the background trying to get this
Blue
stream
Spring
better for
Ride.
you
How
all.
to Ride.
So I kind of let them talk a little bit. I'm sorry I let you all go for so long like that, but I am back. Let's read some of what they said. Blah blah blah. Pokestar. Everybody's just doing Pokemon. All good. Shit, how are you? Aru Haride. Okay. I'm making a list of anime I gotta watch after this stream. I'm pretty sure we're good. They are on a 15-second delay. But that 15-second delay, since I've added it, have got us down from 40% to 20%, and it's only going down like constantly. So I think we're good.
Oh.
We're just with the delay.
Flawless.
Okay.
All right, continuing on then.
Good. Should I go with like the next ones, or do you guys want to start yours?
No, keep going.
I roll. My bitch, fuck! I hate you guys. I hate you guys. Why are you doing this?
You want to roll? I
Yes.
rolled last time. We can roll in between each one. No, that would actually get
I mean,
weird.
we already got all of them up there, you know? Like, we
Yeah.
already know. So, like, you might as well just go through it all.
Jeez. Okay. The next one, Seinen. Seinen, again, this is one of the ones I don't usually watch. As you guys know, I'm a very girly pop when it comes to all these animes, okay? I am very girly pop. So, the one Seinen that I chose is actually Erased. I'm pretty sure a lot of people also watch this because this is one of the really good animes that like popped out of nowhere and was available on like Netflix or whatever streaming service that you use to actually watch it, right? The main premise of this one, though. Oh, I could hear myself in the background somewhere.
My headset might have been too close to my mic.
Oh, okay. Are you guys just gonna leave me in this like the silence and to explain everything? Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, I've listened. I have no clue what Erased is. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
have
Waiting for you
not
to
seen
make
it.
the full argument before I start blasting away.
Oh, fuck you, okay? Jeez. Listen, I'm telling you, this show was actually one of the really good shows at its time, okay? I forgot when this came out because I literally watched it when it came out, literally. So when it first came out, I was like, do I want to watch this? Because I don't like watching children, but I ended up watching
I would
it
hope
because
not.
listen.
Officer, that lady right there.
Attitude. I don't like watching like children. Okay,
Mhm.
I do not
Okay.
like any of that at all.
Uh-huh.
But this one is actually really good in terms of like the themes that it captured and like all the things that was going on in the actual show. I don't want to expose it again. It's basically about these two children. Okay,
What are the
it's about
two
these two
children
children and what.
Yeah.
Okay, basically the guy witnesses like the girl getting beat up, like she's
Okay.
getting abused by her mother and all that, right? And then they basically try and leave, okay? They try and leave that whole thing and avoid everything, okay? Listen,
Okay.
I don't remember most of this, but I just specifically remember that I was like suggesting this to a handful of my friends when it ended. And I usually only suggest stuff like that if it's actually something that I enjoyed.
Okay.
I don't remember most of
Okay.
it anymore, though. It's been a while.
Till then, Erased is very much popular. I highly doubt that a lot of people don't know about Erased. Personally, I don't like Erased. Right?
Why?
The story itself is fine, right? Like from introduction to the main like chunk of it, but the ending was like super bad and kind of predictable in my opinion, right? So it's like it really did not stick its landing, its conclusion. And by the way, for Droid's sake, Erased is not about children. It is about an adult who has an ability to revive, right? If he's ever in a life-threatening situation, for some reason his consciousness turns back to an amount of time to where he is able to prevent it, right?
Okay.
However, there comes a certain case to where he encounters another life-threatening situation again, right? Like normally it's stuff like, oh wow, like there's gonna a car accident's gonna happen, right? All you gotta
Yeah.
do to avoid it is go back like 5 more minutes and don't do that car accident.
Yeah.
However, this newest incident is that he's dealing with an assailant, right? Like
Okay.
someone legit went out to just go ahead and murder said person, right?
Yeah. And so basically
But
every time he tries to do something that changes it, that assailant is smart enough to like just do it again. So it's kind of like a constant back and
no,
forth. No.
no, it's not a constant back and forth. The key difference now is that his ability has instead sent him back way further than it's ever have been before, to his childhood.
Oh, okay. So he had to do
And then
something from the beginning and figure out what it is.
yeah, and then the story continues from there.
So when he goes
Yeah.
back, does he know what he has to do to fix that thing, or
no
he has to
idea.
figure it out?
No,
How many times does he go back to
he just
childhood then?
lives inside.
Well, like that's for you to find out.
Okay. Fair enough. Dang it.
See, Morocco, that's how you do it. That's how you.
Listen, I don't know how to do that, okay? I'm just out here thinking, oh my god, hot boy, let's watch.
Hot child, you meant?
No, not
Yeah, you're the
this
one who described
I
children
don't
at
remember
first.
this one.
Yeah.
I don't remember most of this one,
Uh-huh.
but how I choose my animes is on how hot boys are, okay?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Honestly, same girl. All right, next, go.
Yes. What is this middle one?
Okay. The next one, Oregairu. Have you guys ever heard of it?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
not.
good. It's I don't remember its full name. Yahari ore.
I think it's like
Yahari ore no
snafu. You
seishun.
can just call it snafu.
Yeah. It has a super long name, but like as everyone usually calls it, Oregairu, pretty much. This one is my slice of life choice. This one is a really, really funny show. I personally chose it because I really like Hikigaya, bro. His personality, very funny. And then Yukino, she's also, oh my god, I love her. And then the whole Yahalo from the other girl, oh my god. This is like the most iconic anime in my opinion. Because nowadays, like even if you've like never heard or like watched this, you'd hear people saying stuff like Yahalo or like all that.
I feel like I have
Everywhere,
heard
right?
that Yahalo.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
So
like the main
cringe
thing.
here.
Han says
Yeah.
it was Ogre Ogigaru, not Ogre Hime.
No, oregairu.
Oregairu.
Yeah.
Oregairu. Orehime is like something princess. My princess? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this one, it's a really fun watch. If you just want to watch something about this guy who thinks is like, oh my god, I'm so different from everyone. I should do this. I'm so smart and whatever. When he's actually really not, but he's like a really chill dude. And
He's, like,
he ends up
really like.
So he's
crazy,
narcissistic,
you know?
but nothing to back it up.
no, he's not narcissistic at all. That's a thing.
Oh.
He just thinks he's more like a chunibyo. Do you know what that is? It's like
Yeah, there you go. That's the word.
it's it's
That's
like
not
the
a word to
guys
me,
or like
but, yeah.
it's like the guys or girls who are like
Okay.
the middle
yeah,
school syndrome.
So yeah,
Okay.
so like, I don't know if you've ever encountered a kid, but like, have you ever, when you were in elementary?
I have seen children before.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a bit forward.
Oh, you said, have I ever encountered a kid? Yes, I
No,
have
no, like, so,
interacted
like,
with children.
in elementary, right?
Yeah.
So when you were in elementary school, I don't know if you've ever encountered a kid specifically that was just like so into, I guess, anime. He would start calling himself like cringy shit, right? Like
Yeah.
he would call himself the Master of Flames, or like call
Or
out
like
his
the
blue eyes white
Hokage.
dragon, or yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
stuff like
no. We didn't have anyone like that because I had a 10-person class from kindergarten to 8th grade.
Oh, that's
There
weird.
wasn't a lot of diversity in that class, you know. I was the nerd, and I was the one watching anime, and I didn't go around
Do you
saying
have a
that.
cringy friend that you're embarrassed to be seen in public with?
Not until I got to high school.
Then that person, he is
Okay.
that person.
Yeah. It's pretty much that.
But like,
Yeah,
he's more okay. He's not actually that, but like the way his mind works is like that.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. And everybody,
Yes,
the poll said
pretty
3
much that.
people said the lag were gone, so I think we're good.
Okay,
Nice.
that's good. Perfect. Yeah, Oregairu just follows his. It follows his like school journey as he actually makes friends when he is like out here trying to be a loner. So
So
cool out of it and whatever.
why
Gotcha.
is this your slice of life? You know, this sounds like it's more should have been more comedy based in a
No,
way.
nah,
Uh-huh.
because something else is in comedy. But
I
this is
understand why, but like, why is this the slice of life choice? You know, it sounds like you still
slice of
like it
life
more for its
choice.
comedy.
No. Because I think in terms of like the way that he like builds his friendships and like all that, it's like it's through stupid shit, but he's actually a really nice guy in the end. And I was like, you know what? This is a really nice show to see like actual friendships of how people became friends and like
Hmm.
seeing like the interactions with like other people since like the yeah hello girl basically it was like being used by other people and she actually made a real friend which is Ryukino.
So is this kind
It's
of like
basically that.
Bakugo and Deku's friendship? Like, how could anyone be like friends with Bakugo and he's like the cringe friend?
I don't think it's to
I
that
don't
extent
think
of cringe,
so.
bro.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But
But
yeah,
you
this is a really nice one.
okay? So you still like the relationships and the character dynamics and everything like that.
Yeah, the interpersonal relationships in this, it's very realistic and it's fun.
Okay.
It's the type of people I'd want to be around.
Hmm. All right. Fair enough. Moving on to the next.
Yes. The next one. I don't know if any of you guys know what this is.
I
No,
have
It's a
I've
no
seen
super
it.
clue.
short. Okay. It's a very short anime. It's mainly following the life of of this 26-year-old corporate girly who likes
Mm-hmm.
going to bars or izakayas right after work and eating food, right?
Okay.
It's called Wakako Zake. It basically just like showcases her taste in food and it shows that like oh, I'm gonna have like this salmon and then the salmon skin, and then have a sip of this sake while eating it, and then having this and that and that and all that, right? It basically shows all the different foods that she eats and all that, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Though technically it's not like exactly cooking per se, but
It's
the
food
amount
based.
of yeah, like it shows like them actually cooking it, like the restaurant cooking it, and then like putting it in front of her so then she can eat it. It's more like a mukbang one.
Mm-hmm.
But this is
Okay.
why I really like watching this because here's the thing. I personally don't drink. But when I watch this, it makes me want to drink and eat the same stuff that she eats. And oh my god, you
Izakaya
guys have no
food.
idea.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, oh my god. It
What are
makes
you
me
gonna do
so
in
hungry.
Japan, man? You'd better not stay there for long, or else you're gonna have to take up drinking.
Oh, I'm okay with like drinking, but I just purposely choose not to.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad choice. It's definitely way more healthy for you.
But if it goes well with
But
the
yeah,
food, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, I mean
right. Oh my god.
I say yes to whiskey all the time, so it doesn't even need food. But
Mm-hmm.
not for a month.
Yeah. I chose this to just give it a shout out, you know? I
Okay.
don't know if a handful of
And you
people
said it was
ever heard
short.
of it
Like, how many
before.
episodes is it?
It's a super short, around like 12 episodes and like 3 minutes each.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. That is really short.
Yeah.
And then one season?
Yeah.
you can literally finish this in
Yeah.
like an hour.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's not that hard of a watch. Which is why I was like, when cooking came up, right? Like,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, it should. At first, I was like, oh, that should be easy, right?
Yeah.
But in my
Right.
opinion, there's not a lot of them
Oh my god, there's so many. I'm gonna send you all the
that I
cooking ones.
found that I couldn't care about. Obviously, than the one that I chose, but like, I'll be honest, I'm not really passionate about the one that I chose.
I was gonna say yours is just the stereotypical
Why?
choice. That's like the cop out
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, but like it's unfortunate because I do have technically one, which I'll get into later, but like eh, just other cooking shows. Like if I was super focused on the genre, like the cooking aspect. So if there was
Yeah.
like a thing that made me look at the food and be like, "Damn, I wish that was real," right?
Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
be the one that I have, right? But it is what
Yup.
it is. It is what it is.
Yup. That's why I almost made the Yumero patissier on like the cooking one, but I chose not to because it's more related to my childhood, which is why I put
Mhm.
it there.
Gotcha.
And I chose this one. Yeah. Okay, we're almost done. This is the last stretch for mine, and then someone else has to talk for a long time. Okay. Okay, now we're in the fantasy genre. And as you guys know, I hate fantasy. I hate historical shit. I hate isekai. I don't like any of these.
Okay.
I still have yet to know the reason why, but like,
No, I just don't like any like mythological things or like any of those things at all. I just don't like watching any of those. It's just boring for me, in my opinion.
It's like
Other people,
horror for me.
I
Yeah.
know.
me and
I
you
know
as
people
kids would
like
not
it.
have gotten along.
No.
Clearly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, but
I
continue.
did
But
not like
continue.
this. Okay, but this fantasy one has a strong chokehold on me. Charlotte. I don't know if anyone has watched this or not, but it really starts off like a basic slice of life school anime, right?
Hmm.
But some fucked up shit happens, and I don't know. I don't want to expose
This
everything,
is one of
but like
those
the
I
guy
kind of
ends up.
think I know, but I feel like I might have seen some of it, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to expose too much of it because like the actual like learning and watching as you go is like the main point of like the best thing about
Well,
watching
explain the
Charlotte,
beginning
right?
though. Right? Explain the
Okay,
beginning.
like the main beginning is like introduces the main guy, you know. He has like a younger sister that cooks him like some omuraisu that's too sweet for his liking, but then he just goes he like throws it out and then he goes to school and whatever. And then at the school he like recently went to this new one, I think, and there's like that girl with the white hair. Just know I watched these things when it first came out. So my
All right.
memory of it is absolute trash, okay?
I will say I just Googled, so I know a little more what it's about. It doesn't sound like what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not. Well, like no, she's
No,
explaining the first
it's-
episode, right?
yeah, the
Okay.
first episode. Yeah.
Correct.
This is how it starts off with. And then like it basically follows like this main guy and like his whatever, and eventually something happens, someone loses memory, someone dies, and then some unfortunate stuff happens and the main guy ends up having superpowers and all that. It's I don't want to
Huh?
like dox this shit, bro.
There are so many jumps you just made. What?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, because so
Hold
much
on.
stuff happens in it.
All right. Charlotte is about a super powered high schoolers, right? But they're trying to keep their superpowers under the wraps in case the government tries to take them in for like scientific testing. So a
Okay.
school was built specifically to protect those type of students.
Okay.
Regardless, our main character decides like he develops the powers, right? Just one day, right? I don't know where. To which I believe his powers is to possess other people for a short amount of period of time, right? Like his body will go limp, but he will possess another person within his sight or something like that.
Yes.
However, the white hair girl that Maraka mentioned, right, is indeed stalking him, but that's because he is a recent superpower, right? She's doing it in order to protect him and then recruit him to this school that protects these superpowers.
So it's kind of like X-Men in the anime world.
Yeah, and then that what they're all about, he eventually gets recruited, he goes into like the same business that they do, trying to help other kids or superpowers to not be using their superpowers out in public, at least, right?
All right, that makes sense.
God damn.
Listen, I basically just remember being traumatized by that one scene. Okay.
The tone
That
shift
was
is amazing. I will admit, right? Like it's a phenomenal
right.
anime to watch, right? Because it is all happy, fun, and games in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the
Then it gets
shift in
dark.
dynamics that it goes through is definitely some of the most iconic things in anime that a lot of people will remember
Is
for
it like
probably the rest of their
Vinland
life.
Saga season 1 compared to season 2?
Not on the same scale. I think though, like
You
that's
think that
like
was a
yeah,
bigger
since you're
shift?
you're now an old dude and an adult, right?
Mhm.
Like yeah, that's the same level of feeling. But like
Yeah.
for us youngins, you know, like back
Yeah.
in the day who first got into this type of stuff, right? This was the shit. This was the
Yeah,
bomb.
this was shit. This was so good when it first came out, but no one watched it, and I had to drag people into watching it with me.
We got some squids in
I ha-
chat. Don't make me
I've
make some
had to learn
calamari.
how to drag people in the swamp. Alright.
Okay, okay.
Two more.
I like how
You
Foo's
got it.
good at this. Foo's good at explaining these animes because I can't remember most of this shit. Okay,
You'll be
the
fine.
next one.
I have
You
one
can't
anime that's
pos-
like that
you
for
can't
me, I'll
possibly
admit.
fuck this up, right?
I can't fuck this one up.
Yeah, you
Asobi Asobase. This
Mhm.
shit, y'all. Absolute comedy gold. Have you okay? I don't know if you guys have ever seen or heard of it, but there's like this one iconic scene where there's this one girl.
Hold on. Cameron,
What?
what the fuck?
Khan said that he would rather watch One Piece and Naruto before he'd watch Charlotte.
Maybe
What's
One
wrong with
Piece.
you,
I don't
Con?
know
You
about
have bad
Naruto.
taste.
The hell?
Khan,
Alright,
Khan.
we're gonna
Con,
review.
Charlotte is
Make
so
your statement.
good.
We'll make
Get
your
out of
statement
here.
first, and then we'll review. We're gonna revisit that. I have a bone to pick with that.
Absolute trash.
Alright, go ahead.
Khan is based.
Okay. Comedy as Asobi Asobase. Bro, this shit. The absolute idiots. Those three idiots are so amazing. I absolutely love them, bro. Watching their interactions, that one white girl who's pretending to be like actually white, even though she doesn't actually know an inch of English, and then she speaks like full Japanese, and there's like that one pigtails girl who's just like completely obsessed with like the other girl's boobs and being like, oh my god, and all that shit, right? That girl is absolutely stupid, and I love her for it. If you want comedy and if you want to just like die from like the whole art style, the main premise is just like these three idiots hanging around with each other, talking, and it's like a whole last trip.
So,
Your
like,
brain
what's the comedy?
goes
Like,
on a trip.
slapstick? Are they like doing stuff to each other, or are they put in funny
Yes.
situations, or like what is the?
It's all of those.
Okay.
It's all of those. It's slapstick, as you can see over there. She's getting slapped.
Yeah.
Because they're playing a game, and then there's like the funny situations where they're out here like in a pool in a classroom trying to hide from their teacher and then saying that they pissed because they don't want to get caught because they're stuck in the classroom. And yeah, it's basically like that. Okay, listen, if you want comedy, go watch this. Okay,
All right.
Asobi
What's its name
Asobase
again? You
is
need to put it in
top
the
tier.
chat for me so I
Yeah,
can
I'm
copy
gonna
it
do
over.
this. Asobi Asobase.
All right.
It's so good. It is so good. If you want to watch Three Idiots, that's who you should watch, okay?
It goes hard on so many different levels for its comedy.
Oh, so
I
Fu
think-
It's so
agrees. You're not even trashing
Yeah.
the taste. You think this is a good
It's
pick.
so good.
I mean, like I agree very much. I mean, look, when so with going back to the whole like pissing thing, right? Like to be a bit more specific, they were just, dude, like they were just having a small blow up pool inside one of the classrooms, right? Just to have
Yeah.
fun.
Yes.
Right? 'Cause that's what they're all about. They just want to have. They're just girls out there having like wanting to have fun or some shit like that. But apparently, like when the pool started leaking, water dripped through the door, and their sensei was just like,
Walking
is
by.
everything okay there? You know, I see some water leakage, right?
Yeah.
And then their top excuse was, as Maraka said, yeah, girl pissed herself, so please don't
Yeah.
open the door,
And then
right?
does it work? Does the guy walk away or do they get caught?
He walks away.
Okay.
Yeah, he walks away. But it's still weird, and the girl is embarrassed.
Fair enough.
He does actually something worse, I think. If I remember
Wait,
correctly.
I don't
I
remember
think
fully.
so.
I thought he walked
Okay,
away.
you know what? I'm gonna say this one thing because this is just one of so many jokes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he licked
literally.
it.
What?
I think he tastes
He
it.
did. He
He
did.
tastes
He
it?
did.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he touched it.
He put his
He put his
finger.
finger on the supposed piss, right? And then licks his
He
finger.
was like,
And
He's
then it's
"This
like,
is
all
not
right,
piss.
this
I know
must be
what this
piss.
is." It is
Okay.
incredible.
That's
it is
a little
so
weird but funny.
good.
Oh
It's
no, yeah,
so
it's hella
funny,
weird.
bro.
But like it goes so far, right? Like
Yeah.
and
Fair
it does
enough.
not miss.
But do they end up getting away, I guess, away with it all in the end, like with the hijinks?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
All
really
right.
funny.
Well, Maraka, are you ready for your final one?
My final one.
We're
My
season
final
2.
Isekai. Okay, no game, no life, y'all. Y'all, this shit was so good when it first came out. I was like watching that shit up. I went to a convention. I bought a poster. That poster was on my wall for many years because of how much I actually like this show. Bro. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know if people know the premise of this, but it's basically two siblings, right?
Yeah.
They are like programmers, right? Programmers,
Gamers.
shut-ins who stay at home. Yeah, pretty much. They did that. They were like staying at home, then suddenly they're like transported in a completely different world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this world, they have to like solve puzzles, right? And then I forgot why they were solving puzzle, but I think they were
They gotta
trying
play
to go
games.
back. Were they going back? Yeah, they gotta play games against like certain people, and they have to win. And then like it's basically like a whole strategy thing. It was really cool watching it.
Tag in, tag
Again?
out, tag in, tag out.
Yeah, I don't remember most of it though. But it was cool. It was really cool.
All right. I haven't heard of this one or seen it, but I mean, it looks interesting. It says
What?
they're just gamers on the wiki. It doesn't say anything about programmers.
So no game, no life, right? Which again, I don't know how you got programmers once it's in the title, no game.
No, but I thought they had like a job right before then, and then they were like working together to solve shit.
Not really, but like
I don't
regardless, right? Like no game, no life. Isekai, first of all, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gamers. They're like
Yes.
the top gamers of their home world and stuff like that. They're known as blank, right? The sibling pairing, right? Together they're both known as blank.
Yeah.
Regardless, they get teleported because a god one day was like, "Hey, my world is boring, but like it's game based. Like, can you come over and spice it up for me?" And they're like, "Okay." And they get
Alright.
dropped from the sky, and then through a series of events, they start conquering the world because the world is dictated by like games, right?
Games.
They're literally
Yeah, and they're so good
plagued.
at them. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's typically, right? Typically, but unfortunately, humans normally have a disadvantage with stuff like, oh, they can't use magic, they can't use some mind tricks or some psychic whatever. They can't fly, right?
Gotcha.
To which the other races usually, use to their own advantage, like their own traits, like animal traits or magic, as I said before, right? And that's typically how they've dominated every quote unquote game so far. Violence is illegal, by the way. Every
Oh, okay.
conflict is decided by a game, right?
Yep.
So they're trying to bring
like gambling.
humanity back on top.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I'm gonna give it a look. It looks like I got 5 animes from Maraka. The rest of them, meh. But all right. Thank you for sharing your point of view, Maraka. Fu, what do you rate it overall?
Um,
Down y'all
You know
are
what?
Is
I
it
do like
no,
your-
no, like is it a hot take? Is it, or is it a good take overall? That's the scale. Hot take or good take?
I mean, the bottom row, right, of it all, like I have to agree that those are all very solid, very good anime. The middle one, Snafu, is also super fantastic. I'm not gonna blame you too hard for the cooking one because cooking was so hard in my opinion, right? Like, so like literally
Yeah,
anything would be
bro.
fine. Array sucks ass in my opinion. Origami is
He
fantastic.
really
I
does
have
not like
no.
Erase.
The ending just did not stick, right? Like it's like a 6.5 out of 10 in my opinion. Because ending is super important, right? Like let's not disregard it. Like if anime can't stick its landing, then it's not gonna be a 10 out of 10, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
literally the last thing you remember. So it's super important for an anime to stick its landing, in my opinion. I have no idea about your top right one, right? So I can't really judge that too hard, except that I'm gonna prefer mine over it any day of the week, probably. And Yumio Patissiere is basic bitch. I expected it.
Ah, shut up. It's so good. Okay, if you grew up with anime, this is what you watch as a child, okay? If you were a girl.
I
I
think
guess.
if you were a girl my age, it would be a different answer. It'd most likely be Pokemon. In my
Connor
area, at
said
least
I give
too.
a Maraca an overall rating of 6 out of 10, and
Okay.
I'd have to agree actually.
See, mine's 5 out of
Y'all
9, so that's
suck.
kind of like a 6 out of 10. But I don't think it's the hottest of take. Maybe a lukewarm take.
Y'all suck. Y'all suck.
All right, what's your rebuttal then, huh? What do you remember, huh? Erased. Yeah, like all the other anime that you tried telling us before. What do you remember about Erased Sun ending?
Which ending?
Erased. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, there we go. Because it wasn't good. There you go.
It's so funny.
All right,
next.
well,
But again, I don't watch seinen.
That's fine. It's good.
Fu,
Spin the wheel.
you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Spin that wheel.
Let's
Oh,
go.
it looks like it'll be me.
Dang.
All right, Fu, you gonna come up last.
Wow.
You know, we save the worst for last, right? Not, or best
The
for
best
last. Yeah.
Bitch. Get it right.
Yeah, that was totally a slip of the tongue,
Also, you have to
guys.
explain your shit as well.
No, you don't have to explain my. There's only
Who is
one.
the
There's only one
who
of
is the
mine.
god here?
There's only one of mine. You'd have to
You have
potentially.
Sword Art
explain.
Online there. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear this shit.
This was of all time. This was of all time. And me and Seth, who I did the smelting stream with, he watches it every November, every year, all the way through. And I try to do it with him because he enjoys it. It's just kind of like a friend tradition at this point. But don't skip ahead. We have to first come to the best Kodomomuke anime of any time. I feel like you can't really argue at this one. If you were a 90s kid, it was Pokemon anywhere in the US. Like, we had very limited access to anime, I will say. Toonami was basically all we had, and it was whatever was on Toonami. This is before the internet. I had dial-up internet, but it literally took days to download like one anime episode. Most likely you download a virus. So like, it wasn't really pirating days or anything like that. We just had to take what we get, and Pokemon was what we got. And that is like my whole childhood, from Pokemon like Red, watching the whole Indigo League. We would go to school and challenge each other doing the Pokemon rap and see who could like actually get through it the whole way and everything. Like, oh man, Pokemon was life when I was growing up.
Can you still do the Pokemon rap now?
No, I can't remember it at all. I don't even remember how it starts. Yeah, if you started it out, it might like. If someone was able to start it, I might be able to continue it, but I can't like start it.
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like that's the hottest of takes. It might be a very basic take. taste. You can call
It's
me
basic.
basic for it. Yeah.
It is basic.
But it's the best. So, hey,
Is it really?
it
Is
is.
it?
It is.
Why would you say it's the best though?
Does your pick have a global market over basically any other anime?
Technically, yeah.
Oh, but over this anime then. That's not any. When I meant any, I meant all. Like not just any other anime. I meant like all of the animes. Like I
Okay,
think
but this is from
Pokemon
a
has the
market
biggest
point of
global
view.
market share.
Yeah, this is
This is
marketing,
a
okay?
market just because the mass populace
LimeWire, yes, Shell
generally
Shock,
agree
LimeWire.
doesn't
Let's shout
mean
out to
that it's
that.
actually good. You know, like there's only a few geniuses amongst the mass of dumbasses.
Hey, cliches are cliches for a reason. They work.
Alright, sure.
How much of it have you
Continue.
actually watched?
Yeah.
How much have I actually watched? I watched all of the original Indigo League. And then I watched through Ho-Ho and Lugia. So I've watched all those. I've watched like all the movies to that. And then
Ooh.
I think I watched shows and movies to Lugia. Then I had a gap after Lugia until I like got back into it recently with like we did Scarlet Violet, Sword and Shield. I did Legends of Arceus, but like I didn't do Black and White. I didn't do X and Y, and I didn't do Sun and Moon. But I did all
But
the
these are the
others.
games you're talking about.
Well, but the series too. Like every
Yeah, but,
game
like,
I
this is
played,
now-
I watched
right
the
now we're
equivalent
talking
series.
about the anime.
Yeah,
That's
but
the thing.
but that's what I'm saying. I
How
know
much of
which
the anime have
anime.
you watched?
Yeah, I know which anime I watched because I watched the animes that I played the games for. So
Okay.
the anime part where Ash is going through whatever Black and White is, whatever X and Y is, whatever Sun and Moon is the anime parts I haven't watched. I watched all the rest of the anime stuff because like I picked it back up on Sword and Shield when he got into Galar. So that's where I picked the anime back up. So yeah.
I see it now. Okay.
Yeah.
So a good
If I
chunk of- a
played
good
the
chunk
game, I watched the anime. Yeah, I just had a gap in the middle. I kind of did that with One Piece too.
No.
But all right, number 2 for shonen. Again, 90s kid, American boy trying to get anime. All we had was Toonami. And the hit of Toonami,
Oh my god.
the best, was my man Goku. And I will say, this anime, like, I changed it from One Piece because in 2023, you know, One Piece I think was better. But overarching, like, impact on my life, every time I go skydiving, I wear Goku's turtle school gi as a shirt. Just to like have my bud like there, like watching out for me. I'm flying like my favorite Saiyan, basically. So like I don't know, I really like Goku. I have a whole bunch of like shirts that are his like training gis and everything like that. And like I say, I wear one every single time I go skydiving.
There is not a single wrong thing about that statement, unfortunately. There are a ton of boys out there who will obviously, in front of the TV, will practice their kamehamehas in front of it,
Yes.
including me, you know?
Yes. And then to like jump out an airplane and
Okay.
get to pretend you're Goku and you're like flying towards like whatever, like oh, it's awesome. Just
Continuing on, though.
Continuing on. For shoujo, again, when I looked up lists and everything, everyone said Sailor Moon was a shoujo. And that's really the only like girlish anime I remember watching a lot when I was young. Again, it was on Toonami and everything, so limited access. But I really liked that one, so I followed it as much as I could. But for some reason, they stopped airing it here like after a while, so there's a big gap I never got to go back and like fill in. Like I feel like it was because there was originally like only like 4 or 5 Sailor Scouts, and then they branched out and found like the ones outside the asteroid belt. Like they didn't start with like, because like it started with Mercury, Venus, and Moon and Mars, and then I don't think Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune came in until later, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Like yeah, they
But I'm not
found more
entirely
later.
sure.
They were evil at first or something like that. And yeah. But basically, I really liked that anime. It was interesting. I loved the little black cat. I don't know why. That was my favorite little like
I
animal
am
person.
gonna make the comment that your top row screams out to me that you're a bread man, considering how basic and plain your tastes are.
You
right
all
now.
made this of all time
Like,
and impact
listen,
of our
listen.
lives, okay?
As much as I
It's
want
so
to complain
basic.
about it, like obviously I do agree. Like, yeah, they're objectively good stuff, and no one can refute that. But at the same time, there's just no spice to it, Droid. Like, come on, like. What?
Are you sure no one can refute that? I can. I never watched
really? Go
any
ahead.
of them. I was never actually interested in any of it. None of them
Even
piqued my
Sailor Moon?
interest because none of them. No. Again, I hate fantasy, bro. But
Anything
listen, all of
unrealistic
these,
out the door.
yeah, I never actually got into the anime of Pokemon because I was like, that's too much. I can't watch it. I can play the games though. But when it comes to what's it called, Goku and all that, bro, I had zero interest in any of that because
Man, Dragon Ball
the
Super
guys
is
weren't
even hype,
hot.
too.
The guys weren't hot.
Goku's
The
not
guys
hot?
weren't hot.
Oh my
okay?
goodness.
You didn't find Vegeta and his fantastic hairline.
Yeah,
That
it's
Widow's
not hot,
Peak.
okay? They were not hot. And then Sailor Moon, I was just not into because I did not like any of those.
You didn't think Tuxedo
I
Mask
did-
was hot?
No, I wasn't interested in any of those. Kind of crazy, right?
Wow.
None of them piqued my interest.
Man,
You
Bulma,
guys
that's one of the original waifus. What?
Do you guys know Detective Conan?
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard
Do you
of it.
like anyone from Detective Conan then, Maraca?
No, I didn't really care about those guys.
Wow, what are you? Huh? They're so pretty though.
No.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't
Right.
seen this before. But all right. So those are the
Mhm,
best
next one.
choices, and obviously
Those are
all
your
of chat
bread
would agree with
choices.
me.
So
Yeah,
basic.
Shell Shock
bread.
says Brawly is the best. There you go. Y'all know. We're all here for
yeah.
it. Con said
See,
something
look, the
earlier.
general populace will again back him up because again, it's
Yeah, they will.
widely known, but like agreeable.
It's what
Okay.
It's what people watch because it's suggested to them. Okay, I
No, it
personally
was
don't
what you
think
watched
they really.
when you didn't have access
That's
to
our
the internet, and it
favorite.
was all they gave you.
Yeah, Magic
That's why it's
Kaito,
part of it.
man. Like he's so good. Like he's pretty. I like him. I like Magic Kaito.
That's his type? Who has his type?
I have a lot of types.
All right, next one is a more recent one, but like in this category, there's quite a few I haven't watched that I want to. Like I've never seen Berserk. I feel like maybe that would be there if I had ever watched it, from what I've heard, but I haven't. But I watched Vinland Saga, and I love absolutely everything about it. I loved the first season, all the action, like the way they introduce you to the story, the like backgrounds and like all the abilities of the cool people. And then I like just the 180 turn you get in season 2, and how like almost emotional and like Game of Thrones political it gets, like not real world political, like Game of Thrones type political. And I just really loved it from the start to the end, even though season 2, I know a lot of people got dropped off whenever all the violence dropped out. But I mean, is there a like almost more famous quote before it came out than like "you have no enemies"? Like, I love that show.
Vinland Saga definitely has at least something for everyone as long as you stick with it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Right. The action scenes are definitely fantastic. They are brutal. They are awesome, in my opinion. And then, but also you got the more political side of things, right? Which is actually really well developed, in my opinion, compared to a lot of other things that are generally like. For instance, I know there was this one. There was like a realist's way to rebuild a country or something like that, where he kind of just like says one thing and it just gets done. I'm like, okay, and everything seems to work out. But like with Vinland Saga, it's a bit more, at least detailed in its world building.
Yeah, like they're actually doing like the whole markets in the background and everything. And I really just liked his whole like struggle with the PTSD of it, and like coming back from that like hellscape that they envisioned and stuff. And it was just it was really interesting when they hit that redemption arc, how they still kept it so interesting. and then
Do you
now
know
Can you
we're
anything
right
about
actually
back to it.
explain this?
What?
Because
yeah.
I never watched it, y'all.
Explain it. Oh, you want me to explain it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Explain the
basically,
actual show.
there is this uber Viking squad called the Yams Vikings, and they're basically like 100 of the best Vikings in the area. Well, one of them decides to go rogue and quit and just become completely peaceful. And he goes out and lives out his life, has a wife, kids, and everything. There's a deeper reason why and stuff, but that's stuff you'll find out in the story. Basically, he has this kid, and the kid's growing up and wanting to be a fighter and a Viking fighter, just like all the other Vikings. Doesn't know his dad's a Yams Viking or anything like that. And then one day, like, because it's against the rules to leave the Yams Vikings, his dad gets called in and he sneaks up on his dad's ship to go with them, and then his dad gets killed on the way out of a big plot, and he's basically raised in war with Vikings from, like, I don't know, was he 6 years old maybe? And he becomes like just this epic fighter that everyone just underestimates because he's so small, and then he just slits their throats and does all this stuff, like the fastest person on the battlefield. But then eventually stuff happens. He reevaluates his life, gets rid of all violence, doesn't want to do it, and then he's, for several reasons, in a feud with the King of England now. But he refuses to do any violence for it now, and that's kind of like the season 2 no violence thing.
Connor says the 90s Berserk anime is good, or so I was told, and Shellshock would agree.
Okay.
Have you guys watched Berserk?
I haven't. It's one I
No.
want to watch, but I haven't.
Should get to it eventually. I swear to gosh.
So, Maraka, what do you think of
Okay.
that anime? I will say there are probably a lot of hot dudes on there. Broad shoulder Vikings.
No. I don't know about that, but from what it sounds like, I don't know. It's not really my cup of tea.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think.
But I
Morocco would
can
quite
get
enjoy
why
it.
you'd like it. Yeah, I don't think I'd enjoy it. I'm very picky about my animes, as you guys know.
Fair enough.
The animation is really good, though. I will admit.
It is. It is one of the best ones. Oh, Cup Pod says tea.
Hey, Cop, how you doing?
I
Hello.
don't like leaf juice.
Yeah, Droid's an offender, right? Like, he doesn't like tea at all, and I hate it here. Right? Like, can you explain? Maybe you can convert him. I've tried my best, but Cup Pod over here is the resident tea Riz master, in my opinion. Right?
Okay.
She
Here is that.
will find a way, I'm sure. Right?
You're relying
I
on
hope.
someone else to do
Yes,
your
I
work.
can.
I see how it is.
Well, I've learned a lot of things from her. Right? Like
Oh,
I
okay.
still am. Right? She's actually one of my Ada teachers.
Oh,
As a
wait.
teacher.
Oh, but wait. Is Nevermore the one you brought in to RR teach
Yeah,
you
never.
before? Okay.
Yeah, but I told you I have multiple. Right?
Yeah.
Pod being one of them.
But I just realized
hear
where
Cup-
I've seen Nevermore's name from.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cup Pod, you'll have to help me. Nevermore and Foo and Maraka rated my RR at a 3.5. They didn't.
I didn't rate yours.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't say shit. I didn't say shit. I
I'ma
was
say
just like,
it was bad.
Here you go. I'll
yeah, it
play
was
it.
bad.
I'll play it for chat.
Go ahead.
No, wait, that's the wrong one. Okay, apparently I don't have the right one hooked to the soundboard, so we're gonna keep going, and I'll fix that later, and I'll play it for you.
Alright.
But okay, my next one, my slice of life. I was really surprised to find out this one was slice of life, but as soon as I found out it was, I was like, definitely number one. Mob Psycho 100 has some of the best animation that I have seen in anime like ever. I absolutely love the unmoving plaid, like crystal effects they use everywhere. I like the storyline about like he's kind of like way overpowered, but he doesn't want to use it, and how it ends up coming out when he's like at 100% emotions and everything. Like just every way they change it every time too. You know, they don't rely on the same formula, even though he's overpowered, to get him through every situation. It's so different and so wild, everything they come up with. This anime I could not recommend more to anyone. And it's kind of goofy. It has all the ghosts and everything like that. I guess I should ask, do you all know this one?
Of course, I know it, but like
I've seen
Maraka.
the guy, but
Yeah.
I'm not interested in it because he's not hot. Sorry, guys, this is my
I
main choice. Okay.
So it's basically a bunch of kids in school, but the kids all, like, not all, but Mob basically is an esper, so he has like psychic powers, and he can see ghosts and demons and stuff around, yokai and different things. He has a teacher who's basically a complete sham exorcist who goes in and says he'll like get rid of demons and ghosts and everything in everybody's area, but he'll just go in and throw around some salt and everything, and if he encounters anything really well, or really like actual ghosts, he just runs away until he meets Mob, who can actually take care of all the ghosts with his psychic powers. Mob is kind of like One Punch Man's Saitama with his psychic powers, where if he were to actually use them all, he'd be the most powerful psychic in the world. But he accidentally hurt someone one time with it and vowed he would never use them again, and he would never use them to hurt anyone. So like he's like repressed them all, and like he's kind of psycho because he tries to be completely emotionless, but he gets this meter that goes up towards 100% every time on any one emotion he's feeling. So it might be rage, it might be trust, it might be happiness, it might be sadness, it might be whatever emotion he's going 100% on. And when he hits that limit, his psychic powers basically are uncontrollable. He can't hold them back anymore, and they just act on their own and do a bunch of stuff. It's kind of cool. I like it. I recommend it. Shell Shock says, "Wow, hating on the bowl cut." He is
Hating on it.
He is part of the muscle improvements club at school, and there are some hot guys that he runs around with. He's just not.
No, they're not hot.
I gotta get her watching. I gotta get her watching.
No. No.
Ooh, man, you're betraying me over here.
Well, like, okay. Right now, I'm like, I don't disagree that Mob Psycho is a slice of life because it very much deals with topics that an average like high schooler would probably go through, like not being happy with their current like either body or lifestyle and everything like that, which is why like Mob going through
his crush and everything. Yeah,
exactly, like basic boy stuff. It just has the additives of of it being superpowers and everything like that.
Yeah.
Regardless, I feel though slice of life is just
daily
not
life,
like a small aspect. It's just not as important of an aspect in Mob Psycho compared to its shonen part or counterpart, right?
The way it ends, if you've seen the actual ending, that's what makes me completely disagree with you. It ends as a slice of life. The last few episodes are all slice of life stuff. It's not even about the shonen or powers anymore. And the ultimate conclusion doesn't care about them at all. You gotta
think about the driving like force, like the thing that's like driving the entire
the entire storyline is Mob's psychological growth, going from completely repressing his emotions so much that he's even repressing his powers, to opening up with friends, opening up with who he wants to be in his life goals, opening up with a girl he has a crush on, and then finally accepting himself for who he fully is, both emotionally and with powers. I don't know, that's how I see it more. I don't see it more about the fact.
I think this is where the divide of slice of life and I think rather maybe actually seinen or shonen, I guess in this case, should be cut, because where slice of life, we take parts of our life, but they're just generally how I view slice of life is just your average daily life, nothing like super dramatic all the time every time, right? Because everyone goes through like this whole dramatic story of going through an adventure through their emotions, right?
Yeah.
Typically, a slice of life is just something that just happens, I guess, not like day to day,
Yeah.
Just something that's not just uneventful things that make up your memories towards your adulthood, right? These seemingly uneventful events that have eventually accumulated enough to make up who you are today.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. If you look online, it's classified as it. So I
It is
count it.
classified. I will agree. I will agree. It's part of it. Don't get me wrong, because Mob has plenty of moments that we can agree. Like we want to go to the gym,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Everyone has bit like I'm sure.
Well, and then
recently,
his
since New
sweating
Year,
on
a
it and
lot of
basically dying on it and everything. Like, yeah.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So that stuff, I agree, is slice of life, but its main driving force of its more like I guess semi-mature topics of growing up as a person and its battle action is what makes up the main part of Mob Psycho. And is it slice of life?
See, I feel
It's
like it's
part of it.
extra. I feel like that's part of it. I feel like the powers are part of it. His personal growth is more about it. This is, I agree with you. It's slice of life if people had superpowers. And that I get is your line. That's your line. The superpowers makes it not slice of life. But for me, I think slice of life can be in these different genres. Like I think you could have a medieval slice of life, and I think you could even have like a fantasy slice of life. Like you could have a D&D campaign, but it's just following the local farmers and their lives and trading with adventurers and stuff. And I think that could be pretty slice of lifey. Even like I would say one of my favorite cooking shows, that Isekaya from Another World, is kind of slice of lifey and fantasy.
I think okay, so like Maraka, what was your slice of life again? If I could just remember it.
Mine was Oregairu. Snafu,
What I got
you know?
it, right? Like
Yeah.
that.
It's like the regular life.
Yeah, that has it still takes like a lot of like high schooler drama moments for sure.
Yeah.
Right. At the very least, that's I would have to say is like the slice of life and the development and progress that each character like a journey is at least half and half. Whereas with Mob Psycho, at the least, it's just too exciting, you know? Right? There's not
I
enough
gotcha.
downtime.
See, I feel like I need something like that in it. I don't know that I could watch maybe like the regular slice of life stuff with you, like that you're talking about. Like, I don't know, like I like Way of the House Husband, but to me that has a bunch of stuff that like is a lot extra that wouldn't really be quote unquote real world, but then makes it interesting.
Well, like it's supposed
I
to
think
be
it's
like
real world,
yeah,
isn't it? Because it's very real world.
it teaches you tips and tricks, I would say.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think people really act like that. I don't think there's anyone really out there that acts like that dude. That's all I'm saying. Maybe there are. Maybe I'm just ignorant.
We don't know the Yakuza. We don't know.
I just think slice of life is meant to be pointless in general, right?
Gotcha.
But since there's so much driving forces in Mob Psycho in each and every
See, at the
episode,
end, there is no point.
there's just
That's
too much
where I
progress.
guess. Have you seen the end?
Yeah, of course I've seen the end.
You've seen the end. Okay. Well, like at the end, there's nothing left. He's just, done the stuff and then accepted himself, and then now he's a happy high schooler, and that's the end. He's not going off to battle more psychic things or anything.
The entirety.
I think this is a hot take, Droid.
It sounds like
this
it.
is
It
a
sounds
hot
like
take.
it. Okay. Chat, let me know. Is this a hot take? Is this a hot take?
I agree with Fu, because when I think of slice of life, I just think regular
relaxing,
life.
Okay.
right? Like at least relaxing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
So my next one is my cooking one, and there are so many good cooking anime. Oh my goodness, you all need to educate yourselves about them. But I had to choose the first one that I ever knew that just completely introduced me to the genre, and that was Toriko. I mainly only got introduced to Toriko because he fed Goku, and I was like, who the hell is that? And then from there, I watched him. Now, this is the one I don't remember a lot of because I think it took me a while to get these and I had to watch them. This is kind of like there was an old show called Beetleborgs that I really liked, and I couldn't tell you a single episode that happened in it or anything. But I just remember being like so wowed that he had the crossover with Goku, the crossover with Luffy, the crossover with like this character, that character, and he is feeding them all like their favorite foods and going out there and like manly punching and like doing it. I don't know. It was I really liked it. It was my first introduction to it, to the like genre that got me interested in it. It's not my favorite one. Like I say, I can't even necessarily remember it, but if we went of all time and like, you know, impact
It's the one
into
that has
your
the most
taste.
impact. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be this one because it's what got me down the line.
Okay, but first of all, before anything, because I am 100% knowing Maraca doesn't know what this is. Can you
Yep,
explain it?
yep.
Okay. Let me. I guess so. I'll read unless Fu wants to give a personalized one. If you have a better memory,
No, you
I
got
can
it.
read.
Unless you got it wrong.
No, I'm gonna read.
It's yours.
I'm
Okay.
reading. It says it's a
Go read.
renowned, incredibly strong, and skilled gourmet hunter. He is one of 4 heavenly kings, nicknamed the Glutton for his abnormally large appetite. His skill has allowed him to discover roughly 2% of the approximately 300,000 varieties of known ingredients worldwide. And basically, he travels around and tries to find all the different ingredients and cook any monsters that he runs into. So he'll run into a monster, they'll fight it, they'll beat it, and then they'll try to find a way to cook it and make it delicious. Right?
So basically, it's a hunting show.
Yeah. I mean, he is the charismatic gourmet hunter. That's his alias.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fu, does that
fight the ingredients? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. That's fine. It's alright. There is cooking though, so I will pass it. But you,
he cooks
I
Goku
had
and
gripes when
Goofy's
you said-
food? What?
yeah, okay, but like, you haven't seen cooking till you've seen fighting food on.
I have seen fighting food on. I remember that. That had to have been a show I've seen. Hang on. That name. Fighting.
I want anyone out there to search up fighting food on.
No,
and,
I've
like, it
heard
is one of
that.
the
I
most
know I've seen it.
nichest-
Oh my god, yes, I
nichest
remember
thing
that.
ever.
Oh my god, the fried rice character. I remember him so hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
I totally watched this. I don't remember anything about it but that character. I totally do.
I was very much considering. Okay, so fighting food on is where you cook the food and you make them into monsters. to
And then they
for you,
fight.
like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fried Ricer. Yeah,
What
that's the
the
one I
hell?
remember.
Yeah, it's so weird. I was actually considering it as my thing, but like I don't remember enough, so I'm like, and it probably hasn't had enough of an impact on me to put it on my list. Unfortunately.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, the next one is fantasy, and I chose one of my favorite. Wait, no, that's definitely not fantasy. Hang on.
It's not fantasy.
No, this is
Have
a
you watched
isekai.
Dr.
I did it opposite for some reason. That's my isekai.
Oh,
Because I was like, wait, Sword Art Online is my fantasy. And I was like, and One Punch Man is my comedy. So for some reason, I reversed my bottom row. So Dr. Stone is my favorite isekai. And I know it's recently, but oh my God, is this show amazing. And I love the fact that all the recipes and stuff he does in it is like real world things that you could technically do. Now, yes, they even say in the show it would take months to do this and everything. But Maraca, do you know Dr. Stone?
no.
Okay, so basically, in the modern world, there's this really smart scientist. And granted, it says Dr. Stone isn't an isekai. It totally is an isekai.
I will defend it.
I
I'm
will-
gonna
hang on.
defend that statement.
Okay, hang on. So basically, modern world, and basically, there's this really smart scientist that is a prodigy in everything, building rockets, all this other stuff. Can make anything he wants. And
Granted,
then,
I got you. Hold on.
and then somewhere, something happens, and this big green light envelops all of Earth, and everyone turns to stone. And whenever you turn to stone, you're still conscious, though. And he's so smart, he started counting the seconds that he is frozen in stone. And then thousands of years later, after like all the trains have gone, all civilizations crumbled because all humans and everything became stone, he's sitting in a cave and some juice is dripping on him, and eventually he gets freed. And since he's a good scientist, he knows exactly how long it's been because he was counting the seconds and all this other stuff. Figures out why he was frozen, and then like since he knows where he was and where everyone else was when he's frozen, he starts deducing where all his friends are and how he can strategically unstone them and basically restart civilization from the ground up in a stone world. And so like they have to like start and learn agriculture. They have to start and learn making their own clothes. They have to start and learn like all this stuff. And they eventually get to, like in the manga and stuff, going to space. Right now, the anime and everything is just, they just built a very large naval ship and crossed from Japan to a different island to like get some supplies that they need for making a bunch of stuff. But basically, it's like a complete civilization reset because everyone got turned to stone mysteriously. And this one scientist got woken up, and his goal is to wake up the rest of the world and restart civilization.
Okay.
Maraca,
What?
define an isekai for me.
Okay, let me tell you. Isekai is basically when you get reborn in a completely different world.
Uh-huh. Android,
And
what happened?
Android? This is not an isekai. Also, granted, I don't think Dragon Ball is a isekai. I'm pretty sure they're born into that fantasy world. It's not. It is
What are you
not
talking
isekai.
about Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball isn't an isekai.
Yeah, granted said it's isekai, bro.
I don't know about that statement, but let's focus on one task at hand. The
Oh,
fuck do
no.
you mean Dr. Stone is an isekai?
It is an isekai. It is basically
No.
him
He's not
being
isekai,
reborn. Yeah, he's basically
He's
dead
never
for
dead.
2,000
He's
years.
not
He didn't
reborn.
die.
Wait, hang on. For one, you all said it didn't have to be death. You all very specifically, don't let them gaslight
course,
you.
yeah,
Before
Death
this,
or
we were told
teleportation.
death or teleportation. Being frozen in time for 2,000 years and waking up in a completely different landscape with no technology is being transported to another world. He
No,
went from
no,
completely
he's-
civil.
He was
He went.
alive the entire
He went.
time.
He went from
A
completely
brand
civilized
new
world
one.
to a
Just
brand new
because
Stone
the
Age
world
world.
has resetted does
Oh
not
my
mean-
goodness! It is totally.
It's not a new world, bro. It is not. Oh, it is not, because it's still the
Civilization has
same people.
only
Okay, here.
just
No.
resetted. There are still monkeys, there are still lions, and guess what? There are still humans.
No. Hear me out.
Alright, go ahead.
Droid. You
Okay.
literally said he goes out of his way to bring back his friends. So he's not in this completely new world. He's still in the same world with the same people that he's surrounded with. Normally in isekais, they're normally a completely different place where they don't know anything, they don't know anyone, the civilization, anything.
Here's what is basically summed up to, like how your argument is right now.
Okay.
It's basically as if I punched you, knocked you out, and dropped you in the sands of Egypt. Is that an isekai? I don't think so.
No, because I could then contact someone and get back to my world the way I want to be. Senku and the human race will never be what it is. It is a completely different world. Going from full technological civilization to before the Stone Age is a transformation of your world completely.
No.
So yes,
that
while
is-
you might
no.
be physically in the same place, a complete transformation of the society, the workings, and available resources is a transformation of your world.
It is not. First of all, it is not a complete transformation, right? Like, sorry, Morocco, I'll give you a minute. There
Hang
are
on.
still
No, I
very
need
much
you to do this.
remnants. of the past human
Comicbookratings.com. 10
civilization.
best anime series that raise the bar for isekai. Number 8.
Look again, just
Dr.
because
Stone,
most
7,
people
Dr.
agree
Stone.
doesn't mean it's correct. There are a lot of dumb people out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb people on the internet, bro.
Actually, when you Google it, it looks like most people say stop saying it's an isekai. It's not.
Yeah, because it's
Oh, wait,
not.
Granite-
But it
Granite
is.
raising a good point right now. Hold on.
What?
What do you think about zombie apocalypses then? Like, what if someone
Yeah,
just
that-
slept and they woke up and they're in a zombie apocalypse? You know,
No, that's still the regular world, bro. That ain't an
Still the
isekai.
same
the
world.
fuck?
But you have access to all the same resources. I wake up, zombie apocalypse is happening. I can
no, you
still go
don't
grab
have the same
guns. I can.
resources, technically.
Oh, I guess cell phones could be down. and
Lack
stuff
of
like that.
water is definitely a huge issue, right?
Yeah.
Food, definitely. Your
The Walking
agriculture's
Dead
all
is an
fucked up.
isekai. See, like, I feel like you're misjudging the thousands of years. That makes a big difference.
The
no,
thing
but
is,
the thing is,
okay,
it's
go ahead,
still the
Marco.
same. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally still the same. Like all his surroundings, everything is still the same. The
No,
only
it isn't.
difference
It
is just
is
the
now
technology.
No, think
wilderness.
It
about it
doesn't
this way,
matter.
No,
Jordan.
but
It's
he
no
goes from
different
being
from
in
time
buildings to
travel.
just a forest.
It's no different from if I time travel to the fucking Stone Ages we had.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be like starting a new
It's
life.
not an isekai.
How is that
That's
any
still
different?
It's not
Okay,
isekai.
so then it's an isekai if I just get
Sci-fi.
teleported to a medieval. So if I get teleported to a medieval, I'm just suddenly in isekai.
No, you wouldn't be.
So
No.
then Link, you all said if I was teleported to another world. So let's go with this. Link from Legend of Zelda.
Oh, okay.
He went to Termina and then came back. He was teleported to another world. Was he isekai'd?
Are you talking about Ocarina of Time?
I'm talking about Majora's Mask, Termina,
Okay,
because it happens
there's a
after
lot
that.
of lore theories about Termina right now that I know what you're talking about, and it does not apply. We don't even know if Link is dead or not in that world, okay?
Okay, but what I'm saying is just you all said being transported to a new world, even
Yes,
if you're
as
just
long as it's
teleported, you
a
don't have to
new
die.
world.
Yeah.
Yes.
A new
As
world
long as it's
is.
not Earth.
You can't say not Earth. I think different versions of Earth
It
work.
has to be
Oh, okay,
not
there-
Earth.
Or at least
It
one
has
world.
to be not Earth.
I
or
could
another
see.
world.
I could see an isekai. Hang on. Wait. What about this? Would it be an isekai if, like, you were randomly going down the street and you got teleported to prehistoric times and had to figure out how to work with dinosaurs and cavemen and stuff? Is that not an isekai?
Wait, like, are we still talking about time travel, or is it still jumping to another world?
No, it is Earth, but just way back in prehistoric times, like 65 million years.
And it's sci-fi.
Okay, no, here. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
that's
Here,
art.
hear me out.
That's
Hear me out.
art.
Hear me out. Okay,
I want to hear it.
for me, when it comes to isekai, it depends on like the actual place plus the whole civilization. Like, how different is it to what they changed from? That's when I can like.
Yeah, so he
Separate
wakes up on a Japan
isekai
with
from,
no
like, the
buildings
thing.
or anything, all trees, and a population of 20 living on an island trying to survive against animals with spears, wooden spears.
But
That's it.
Listen, he's still out here trying to find his friends, and I'm assuming his friends, he actually finds them. So it's still the same people, not a completely different civilization that they have to learn.
No, he is interacting with a completely different civilization. There were some survivors that did not do it, and they have a Stone Age civilization. It is basically the same as if you think, like, if you got randomly teleported to prehistoric ages and had to deal with dinosaurs or cavemen, if you think that's being isekai'd, then that's what happens to him just into the future. Because technology and civilization reverses.
I still don't consider it an
Okay,
isekai,
okay,
bro.
But
Gosh dang it, I didn't think these would be such hot takes.
take camping as an example, right? Like there, I know I forget the anime title of this one thing, but like the plot of it in general is that there was a plane crash, but they're stranded on an island by themselves. This group of girls is stranded on an island. They gotta rely on survival skills to basically keep on living their
Okay, but modern day survival skills are relevant and matter, so I don't think that's an isekai. I would be able to go on that island and know, oh, I can eat this kind of plant, that kind of plant. I can spearfish this way, cook my crab before I do it so it's not liquidy.
How is
Like,
it
that's not-
generally, other than like the scaling of it all, how is it different than what our main character in Dr. Stone does, right?
Because
In the very
of the
beginning,
scaling.
he can't do anything in the first year without the help of another. He has to rely on survival skills. This is just survival skills.
But it's okay, fair enough.
It's still the same
myself
setting.
in that foot there. Because I was thinking, if you go back prehistorically, the survival skills would be completely different. You don't know how to like survive against dinosaurs. You don't know what plants would be edible. You don't know what fruits would be edible or toxic. Like, it would be basically a new world. But technically speaking, he is in a forest where he knows how to gather all these different resources and start agriculture and stuff. So he's not that different of a one. I still think it is considered an isekai. Please, someone in chat agree with me.
I don't agree.
Yeah, no.
Rick and
Get
Morty's
out of
totally
here.
an isekai. He reincarnates in random universes all the time. We don't know which one he is, but he's isekai'd sometimes.
Yeah, I would like it. It can be. It's just not
Yeah.
a major part of it.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
just let it pass, Constance. Okay, okay.
No.
No, put a
We're
poll
gonna
up, actually,
clown
put a
him.
poll up.
We're clowning him right now.
Pull a poll
We
up,
are
and that'll
clowning
be the
him. Okay.
finish. All right.
This is
All right.
not.
I want a poll.
You want a poll? You want me to do a
I want a
poll?
poll. Is Dr. Stone an isekai?
Okay, okay.
And then
I
we
will
can let
do a
it pass. We can
poll.
move it on.
Okay,
All right.
let me do a poll real fast so we can see what chat thinks. Chat, you better not screw me.
So much when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, fucking god damn it! Are you serious?
All
Did you
right.
seriously put
Is
Dr. Stone
Dr.
as in
Stone
isekai? I would have accepted Sword Art Online better than
Yeah, I
Dr.
would have
Stone.
accepted Sword Art Online.
Dr. Stone, best one. There actually is another one if you don't like that one, but I don't remember its name, but I remember its premise and love it. But it's like the strongest sorcerer with the weakest crest. It's basically like the strongest sorcerer reincarnated himself with the crest he wanted because he didn't have the best one, but in the world
Yeah, I
he's in
remember that.
now. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, the poll is up. We'll let chat decide. You all have 2 minutes to vote. I'll move on while we see.
Yeah, go ahead, move on.
Someone got yes for me, and it wasn't me. But anyway, the next one is, again, I know I'm basic. I was a little 90s bitch. We just have to accept what Toonami gave us and what we had access to. Okay,
90s bitch, bro. SAO is not that old. I
not.
grew up with this shit too.
2000,
Okay.
bro.
Yeah.
Hang on, wait a second. I believe it was the 90s, wasn't it?
It was
SAO.
not. It was
Oh,
2000s.
No, it was not.
If anything, it was like late 2000s.
Shit.
Yeah.
It was 2009, so I was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
So I can't use that excuse so much. It's just really good. All right. Like I said, one
Which
of
one
my
is this
friends.
for again? Fantasy?
Yes, this is for fantasy.
Fantasy.
Me and my friend Seth, like Seth got me into it like even more than I used to be. Like I liked the premise, I liked the show. I really liked Kirito. Yeah. I really like just the premise of his thing, how like he's like, oh, I really like the agility, gets the secret skill, does it. I didn't like that I didn't get to see every level. I kind of wanted to see every level, but I get, for reasons of anime and keeping it interesting. Is Dr. Stone Isekai got 60%?
Also said yes. Who the hell?
Right? Which other one of you guys?
One other person said yes.
This?
I don't know. Talking about 2 people agreed with me. I totally wouldn't have voted. But anyway, Sword Art Online. I love Asuna. I love Kirito. I love just all of that. Their journey. I like the premise of how it's kind of like they're stuck in the game and like they take over the administrative privileges. I will admit I haven't watched like the gun version of it, and then whatever happens after, obviously, because I haven't watched the gun
First season was
of it.
the best. The other ones were trash.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's not worth watching.
Is the first season all the way until they get out of the game the first time?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, that's the main one we rewatch every November. Seth does, and I try to do it with him. But yeah, it is really good. I liked it. It's fantasy. Call me basic. I was gonna put something like Goblin Slayer here, but that seemed a little weird. I think it's good, but it's also really kind of gory and cringe. So like,
No.
I went with Sword Art Online.
All right, Maraca, do you have any comments?
Well, I can't disagree with you. It is fantasy, yeah. But I don't. It's not really the top,
Yeah.
So now we're just trying to see if I got categories right. Is that what it is?
It's more bread. That's all I can say about it.
It's so basic. I'm sorry, Droid. This was like young me's choice of fantasy.
You should
It's
put
not.
Goblin Slayer. put your tastes out there, bro.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it
Come
doesn't have.
on.
It honestly doesn't. It hasn't gone through enough for me to be confident in it. Like, I want to see them go to the green moon and what happens. Once I see that, then I might like start putting it in lists like that. But as it is right now, the story is, it's got me hooked to want to see the next season, but I'm not sure if I'm going to like the anime overall yet. He's got a, I don't know, for being such a goblin slayer, he's pretty weak. And I kind of want to see him power up in some way. Because right now, the way I feel like, after he got his ass handed to him, like at the end with that goblin rush, once he goes, if he tries to go to that green moon, he's just going to get fucked. So I'm like, yeah, Granite says, nah, he's as strong as he gets. See, and that's where I'm just like, I feel like it's going to be unrealistic for him to do much, because he needed like hundreds of adventurers to stave off one goblin attack on a farm. I'm like, you're not really the Goblin Slayer yet, man. But if he gets more badass and actually does something to like get rid of the goblin problem, I could get more invested in it. But right now, I don't believe in that he can. I guess,
Well,
you know?
I think the main idea of it all, though, with like first Maraka, do you know Goblin Slayer?
Nope.
Okay, no problem. Let's see.
Sorry, I don't know most of these.
I know it's okay. So
Hey, I
like,
was that way
Goblin
with your
Slayer,
list, so.
it's in the name, right? Like it's a man that slays goblins, right?
Yeah, he's in a fantasy world. There are all types of monsters around, but he focuses on goblins specifically because of a trauma in his past.
I like to think of Goblin Slayer as actually kind of a better One Punch Man, which we're about to get into next.
Oh,
Alright.
not at all. See, that's my problem. He's way too weak. He gets his ass handed to him too much, and too many times that he rely on his team to get through. Like, if he didn't start partying up with those people, he would have been dead a few episodes in.
Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of other people would also be dead if it wasn't for him in
Yeah,
return.
100%.
And that's kind of the nitty-gritty of an actual adventurer's life of it all. Like, it's not all fun and games, right? There's actual risks to it all. Like,
Yeah, but
people are
that's why I
going on
wouldn't compare
adventure.
it to One Punch, because Saitama has no risks. Like, there's nothing that's gonna do anything to him.
No,
He's
but like
the epic.
the thing is, like, I want to compare it to One Punch Man in the way that, like, in terms of recognition, right? This is a man that's gonna go about his story, like going back to Goblin Slayer. It's gonna be a man that goes about his story just killing goblins, but like you'll see the effects that it has, right? For instance, I know for sure that one of these goblin slaying adventures actually has an impact on the supposed hero's story,
Yeah.
right? And you see those type of effects that, and the main point of it all is that no matter who you are, whether you're a hero or a simple goblin slayer, right?
Mhm.
You have an impact on the world. Whereas with Saitama as well, right? Like he's not like he definitely has like a super huge impact. Don't get me wrong, there,
Yeah.
right? Like he finishes off great threats of monsters with just one punch. But he's not gonna develop more than he is, whether it's terms of his strength, his recognition, or anything. He's just his dude going about his own life, right? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
We focus on Saitama's character, and it's the same thing with Goblin Slayer. We focus on Goblin Slayer's character
I
for the
guess I
story.
agreed with the way Saitama interacts with the Hero Association is a lot of the way Goblin Slayer interacts with the people around him. I will say that.
Yeah.
Especially because the little mage that goes with him is kind of a lot like Genos. So, yeah. So I
I would
could
say more
see
useful in
that
my opinion.
comparison. What?
I would say more useful in my opinion.
Yeah, Genos does get his ass kicked.
Mm.
But all right, at least I got it is a fantasy on this
It is
one, I guess.
fantasy. Yeah.
Okay.
You should have gone with Gun Gale Online alternative, in my opinion, at the very least.
Oh my god.
All right, and then comedy. One of my favorite comedy ones. Just I love because you know from the beginning he's OP and he's gonna win it all. It's none of the shonen tropes of, oh my god, I gotta come back, eat some meat, and do whatever this is to like get better. Just from the beginning, it's hilarious to see him struggle with I'm too strong, and how did you get too strong? 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, and not putting on the AC in the heat or the winter. It was just, I don't know, it's comedy gold. I love One Punch Man so much. And as a fellow powerful bald man, you know, I relate a lot to Saitama, so his humor can be
Yeah,
Dang.
okay there, pal.
So thoughts.
Is it really comedy?
Is it really comedy?
Yes, it's a 100% satire. It's completely making fun of the entire shonen genre.
I'm gonna listen to Fuu's take on this. Okay, Fuu, go.
It's not really like, okay, it's like there's comedy aspects in it, that's for sure, right? And it is funny, don't get me wrong, I love it to bits, but like, did you really, like, it's the same issue with Mob Psycho, all right? Like, did you really have to put it into the comedy part of your 3x3 as
Continue.
as comedic as it is, right? In its first premise, it's isn't it the same rehashed joke over and over again?
No, there's just so many different. Like The Fly is hilarious.
There are very much like it's very well performed, right? Don't get me wrong, it's very well performed in the way that on the same take of the joke, there's multiple ways to perform it, to which why it does so well in its comedic aspect. But it's still the same joke.
No,
man
no, his dry, no,
one
he has
man
such dry
to
humor.
another into oblivion without so much an effort, and goes, "Damn, that was easy."
No, the dialogue with the villains, like Momin Rider, and like how all the civilians go, it is hilarious. Okay, Granite Glasses did say it's pretty funny. And he said this whole segment is roasting me. And Khan said Droid is getting worse treatment than Maraka. Thank you, Khan. Thank you.
Yeah, you should, because this is actually trash, bro. I'm telling you right now. Okay, sir. There is so much good comedy animes.
See,
okay?
I actually thought this was
right
the hard
now,
category. Cooking is way easier than comedy.
what kind of shit are you watching? It's because all you do is watch action ones, okay, bro? That's why. This is why you don't actually know what the comedy ones are.
This is what bread does to you guys. Don't be a bread eater.
Do I need to make another poll to see if this counts as a comedy?
Listen, if you think about it, okay. When you think about One Punch Man, what do you actually think? What genre actually comes to your mind? Because it's
literally
definitely not
comedy and satire. It's satire. No,
it's shonen.
It is making fun of shonen.
It's shonen.
It is not shonen.
No,
it's the whole purpose. The whole purpose of it is to make fun of shonen. It is satire and parody at the highest degree. If you don't think satire and parody are funny and part of comedy, you can argue with comedy people on that one. But I can't give you that.
No.
Satire in shonen.
Yeah, you can have that.
You can have comedy in shonen. It's just
but
the whole premise of this is no. But the whole premise of this is not the fights. They're not long and glorious. They're not the longest sequences or anything like that. The shortest part of this is the fights because he does one punch and you're done. All the rest of it is slapstick comedy throughout it all. He never makes it to the grocery store to buy the items he wants. That's like one of the only things he cares about. He gets inconvenienced every time he's going to do that. His apartment gets wrecked. This, that. It is comedy through and through. You all are wrong. I will die on this hill.
I don't know, bro. This does not sound like comedy to me. Like, sure, it's satire, but it screams more shonen with like a fun little twist. No, it's not shonen, because
shonen requires struggle on the main character's part. That is the definition of shonen. Is a main character basically struggling through to get through there. Saitama has no struggle. It is not a struggle at all.
Oh no, Saitama definitely has those struggles. Don't get me wrong.
Well, he has emotional struggles with being bored because no one's strong enough to keep him entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys. You gotta help me on this one, chat. You gotta help me on this one. Don't make me feel so crazy. An anime, yes,
Right, it
Con, it can
really-
have multiple genres. I would say it's a shonen comedy.
Yeah, it can.
But I would say it
It
is
can
more
have multiple
comedy than
genres.
shonen.
No,
I think-
it's more
No, it's
shonen
more
than comedy.
shonen than comedy.
I laugh at it more than I take it serious. The main.
Have you read the manga?
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I have. I'm caught up to date with Blast and all the stuff.
Right.
Like the whole fight with Jupiter and everything with Garu was hilarious. Like he was just doing ridiculous things.
I think you're like, so this is going back to my previous, I guess, argument with Goblin Slayer, right?
Yeah.
In a way, like I understand why you couldn't compare them, because Goblin Slayer and One Punch Man are such different characters, right?
Yeah.
One's like, but I think the way the storytelling is, right? Again, don't get me wrong, there's still comedy into it, which is what makes One Punch Man so different. But we're still following the life of what it's like to be such an overpowered character, and his boredom through all of it, that no one can just give him a proper fight or excitement, right? Like we literally see it in like one of his dreams where he's struggling with mole people, and that's all he could ever want in his life, but he can't have that, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why fights finish the way they do, though, right? Sure, there's this B plot of the world, right?
Yeah.
That's happening around him, like still progressing through his own influences, still progresses around him, and
Yeah.
it's neat to see all of that. But it's still about watching a man just go through boredom. And I think audiences will have to agree that as great, the animation is fantastic. That's what makes the action scenes and fighting scenes so terrific in the first place, right? But eventually, surprisingly so, I think you understand the premise, right? And you kind of just get bored along with
No,
Saitama.
he looks at like the S class rank tornado Tatsumaki and is like, what is this child doing here, and why is she yapping at me? And just like it is slapstick gold all
No, it's
throughout it.
it's so funny, but that's just how they choose Saitama.
I will say
to be.
chat voted 3 yeses as a comedy, 0 voted
I didn't
no,
even
it
get to
wasn't a
vote in that, so
I
I
didn't
think that is
3 yeses
rigged.
and 0 no's, so chat agrees. All I'm gonna say.
The fuck?
That is
What are you guys
rigged.
all on?
100%.
Chat.
Okay,
I
but
love
like,
you.
no, but I like it is comedy. It's just it's not. It shouldn't be mainly comedy.
It's one of
It's
the
mainly
animes I've
shonen.
laughed the hardest watching.
Whatever.
You haven't watched enough
Whatever.
comedy, bro. You haven't watched enough comedy.
Clearly.
Okay.
Go watch Asobi Asobase, and then we'll
Yeah,
come back.
exactly.
Is
That
that
is
one
like
of them
pure
y'all
comedy.
told me to watch? Yeah. I have that
Yeah.
one here. Yeah. All right. Well, it's time to throw this bubble under the ground. Unless you all like, we are like 2 hours in. Do you all need a break for bathroom or anything?
I'm good. How about you guys?
I'm alright. Not too shabby.
I mean, I'm probably gonna go take a bathroom break, but since you're starting, you could start it, and I'll be able to listen, and I'll come back and rip you into shreds.
No, take a 5 minute. Take a 5 minute.
All right.
You'll need.
Yeah,
we're
take
gonna
a
take
break, take a break.
we're gonna take a 5-minute, guys. We'll be right back. I'll put on some music for you, chat, and I'll put some stars on the map. Hello, beautiful people. We're back. It was a quick one.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
All right, so it is the Bubble's turn in the hot chair. Let's pop them.
Let's go.
I'm ready
let's
to
go.
fight. I'm ready to defend. It's fine. I'm good.
He's so
I'm
ready.
ready. I'm gonna win. Okay, so this is my 3x3. It's not in the order, right, in which you guys did it. I actually just switched a few things around, whereas like the ones in the corner are kind of like less important to me, because like, you know, we all have our different tastes and whatnot, but I think the ones in the more like the cross and the center, those are the ones that have the actual impact on my life growing up as an otaku and everything like that. But
Okay.
let's go starting from the top. Like, I'm gonna introduce them like one by one, right? Starting from the top left, going to the right, is To Your Eternity, Silver Spoon, Grand Blue, ReZero, Haikyuu, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX specifically. I know. March Comes In Like a Lion, Kaicho wa Maid-sama, and Food Wars, right? So from the
Mm-hmm.
top left is To Your Eternity, and I put that one as my fantasy one. First of all, have you both like? I don't think so, but have you both heard of it?
To Your
No.
Eternity. Let me.
It's a more recent one, I
No,
would
I
say.
have not.
I am enthralled by it. Okay, so with fantasy, right? How I've chosen my fantasy is what's most important to me is the author's ability to create a world,
Mm,
right? Because that's what fantasy is to me. Like in all my D&C sessions, it's about someone making this world for others to see. And there's no so far, like off the top of my head, better. Like you could argue Ghibli films as well, but if we're just talking about like anime with the whole series, To Your Eternity has a really variety of world building to it, right?
mm,
If I'm at all honest, Made in Abyss specifically is probably the most fantastical world to me. But in terms of just the sheer variety of all, To Your Eternities first is, let's see how to describe. It starts off with like the setting of a young boy and his pet wolf, actually, right?
mm.
Unfortunately, during like them living together, right? The village that they are a part of, they're in like the Arctics, right? Very snowy, very cold and stuff. And unfortunately, not a lot of food is coming around. So they sent out like a party out into the world to try to find more things, like more food, like fruits and the whatnot, right? And if they
Mhm.
find more things, they can come back, uh, have more food, and then they know for sure, because the village itself doesn't actually know what's beyond their village, right? So it's about exploration, first of all, which is fantastic in my part. A lot of the villagers have died. It is only the boy and the wolf left, right? And the
Okay.
boy is so desperate in trying to keep a positive attitude. The wolf has died, but the boy doesn't know because when the wolf died on top of this stone. This stone is a special stone sent from space or something like that, right? This stone, upon the wolf's death, right, feels the wolf's death and is able to replicate the wolf in its entirety. Like it becomes a one-to-one copy of the wolf during the time of its death. So like when it died, it had like I believe a stick in it or something like that. Like so it bled out or something. So it
Okay.
keeps the traits of it bleeding out and everything like that. However, since it's technically alive and it has super regenerative powers, it eventually heals and stuff like that. Regardless, it comes back and you think it's about this boy and his wolf, right? But it is so much more than that. It is about the journey of what this supposed stone, and you find out throughout its journey about like what its capabilities are, what are the different cultures as their explorations go on throughout this whole brand new world that's clearly different from Earth, right? There's different fantastical things like giant monsters, an alien attack, gods and religions and so on and so forth, right? you ex- you are literally seeing through the eyes of an explorer of a different world, and it is so good in my opinion. You should definitely watch it.
So, not
Okay.
knowing much about this, but reading a Wikipedia page, I say it is not fantasy because it eventually gets into quote unquote modern level of technological advancement and stuff with microscopic things. And I think it is sci fi. You put it in the wrong category, I rest my case.
Jory, that's still fantasy.
I
Literally,
know
you
it. I
put
know it is.
fucking,
It
you
was a
put
hollow
SAO.
it was a hollow argument. I had to say something
Okay.
against it. I just let me have my little argument.
Uh-huh. And let me refute it by like, what did I say about the wolf in the beginning? Right? It's literally a stone that transformed into a wolf.
Hey, any significantly technologically
There's
advanced
also deities.
thing looks like indistinguishable from magic. You
There's
don't
also
know;
deities.
those could be beings in exoskeletons. I don't know. I haven't read
There's
it.
also deities that only the supposed stone could see.
I gotcha. I
Mhm.
haven't seen anything of it. It does sound interesting though. It reminds me a
It
little
is
bit of.
fantastic. You
Have you
get the
seen
sense of
Magi?
wonder. I haven't seen what?
Magi?
Oh yeah, Maggie. Yeah.
Yeah, Maggie. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of that, like the way he kind of starts and then enters the world and like goes through it all. Is it any way kind of like that?
Kind of. It's just like Maggie is more one tone, like with its whole like theming and all of magic and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, you get to see like a whole variety of topics and cultures and politics. So I would say this has at least something for everyone. But Maggie's still top quality in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
Right.
definitely. Yep. All
All right.
right.
So moving on. Next,
Okay.
Slice of Life Silver Spoon. By the way, the same author who wrote up Full Metal Alchemist. So it's gonna be a decent one at the very least, in my opinion.
Wait, Brotherhood or the original?
Well, the original, which is Brotherhood technically, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
So I know Slice of Life. We mentioned before, like it's supposed to be boring. I still agree. So Silver Spoon is about, again, high school, right? At least I got that category, right?
Okay.
It is about a kid. Oh my god, is that the yeah. Um his life isn't going exactly as he's planning it, right? Like he's supposed, if I remember correctly, he was actually supposed to like live up to his kind of family's legacy of being like a medical student or something like that. But he ends up kind of like being on his rebellious phase and actually going up to an agricultural school, right? Agricultural school has such a very different lifestyle than his city life, right?
Yeah.
So you go throughout his school life in a more what happens if a city boy is in like starts living in a countryside type of deal, and that's where the comedy slash life lifestyle of it all is. But I think as you grow to love like these characters' struggles, their quirks, uh, what it's actually like to, farm animals and stuff like that, right? And the meaning of life and everything, under the tones of the mundane tasks that they gotta do every day to keep up with their living, a much more soft development happens throughout it all, and you really do grow to cry over a pig.
Okay.
Dang, okay.
Right?
And Maraca, have you seen this one before?
I have not.
Okay. So neither of us has seen this to give you any kind of feedback.
Yeah, neither of
good.
us see the first two.
It's good. It's like, again, it's from the same author as Full Metal Alchemist, so you
Yeah.
can guarantee at least some level of quality, right? I don't think the landing in the manga, at the very least, wasn't super amazing, but it was good enough, right? So I
Okay.
recommend giving it a try.
All right.
Top right, Grand Blue Dreaming. Right, it's not as important. Like, I wanted to put stuff like Konosuba and the whatnot, like the very basic,
Oh.
right? But I feel like even though technically I have watched the anime, but I've read the manga first, so like all the jokes were already said to me, right? Like, so I can't laugh at the anime. I've already laughed at them during the manga, but they are very much. I very much like stories with like still progress in them, right? And you'll see it throughout a lot of these animes here for sure. Even if it's like I still enjoy stuff like that doesn't have too much meaning, like Akshikochi as an example. So it's just again another day-to-day slice of life about people doing random slapstick things. But Grand Blue, as much it does slapstick as well, and to a and very good level. I don't want to say as much as Asobase.
Probably not as
Asobase.
much as One Punch Man, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh
Oh
no,
my
more than
god,
One Punch
bro,
Man.
I'm
More than One Punch Man. Uh So like the level intensity of slapstick comedy that Grand Blue does, it's about okay, it's quote unquote a diving like a diving anime, quote unquote.
Wait, oh my god, I've seen like this picture of this guy.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, oh my god, okay, yeah.
It's very hard
Oh,
to
is
avoid.
it a
If you
hot
haven't-
guy? Is Baraka
No,
gonna
no,
go
no,
watch
no,
it
no, no,
now?
no, no, no.
Ah.
No, the profile picture. This is like profile picture worthy picture, you know. I'll send it into the
Okay.
Discord.
So there's very much a lot of funny, very slapstick, very intense comedy stuff, mostly revolved around the idea that like, for instance, it opens up with the main character, right? Like he's
Yeah.
going to college, right? He got into college and everything like that, and he's going out through the clubs. He actually has a fear of water, you know, as
Okay.
as a side thing. But that's not important. You know, what's more important is that he gets involved with the diving group, quote unquote diving group, in which that more often than not, whenever they offer him a drink, right? They're like,
Mhm.
"Here, have some water." It just turns out to be spiritus,
Like,
right?
what's spiritus? What do you mean?
A 98% alcohol drink,
Okay, so that's called
right?
Everclear to me. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just
Oh.
death, but he can take it, and it's just a bunch of like random shit like that, but with the hidden undertones of a man that's just has really good qualities about him. As much as he strips and everything, he has really good qualities that a decent human being should have. You know,
And what
but
genre
still
is
just a
this one?
boy in his hand. Comedy,
Okay.
right? It is still mainly comedy. You'll still see many dick jokes and everything like that, but it's fun. It is very fun, for sure.
Maraka,
It looks
have you
like a
heard of this one?
comedy. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know like the actual thing, but I've seen like the clips of it actually. And from the clips, yeah, that shit is comedy for sure.
Okay.
For sure, for sure.
We'll let you rest on that. Hang on, since this is your comedy take and you all trash
Mhm.
my comedy take, if my comedy take would have been Heaven's Design Team, have you all watched that?
No.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That's why they're
Is
designing
that a
animals,
comedy?
right?
Is that a comedy? Yeah. Because that was my second choice, and I don't know if you all would have considered that one either. So I just want to know if I would have lost either way.
I would consider it a comedy. I just don't like. Is it a good one?
Yeah, it is. All right.
It's
Anyway,
okay.
continue with your list.
Okay. All right. So for sure, you guys heard of this one,
Yeah.
ReZero, right?
Yeah.
This is my
Yeah,
take
yeah.
on it, right?
This
And
is
we can all agree.
Wait, you're not calling
Yeah.
this an isekai? No.
This is an isekai. Droid, you better think very carefully about your argument.
Hang
I
on.
must say, you're about to think very carefully
Is
about
this-
asking if ReZero is an isekai or not.
Is this part of the Fate series or not?
No, it's not part of the Fate series.
Okay. I thought this was part of the Fate series, so I don't know what this
Think
is then. Okay.
Very carefully.
Because Fate Zero, so I thought ReZero was just
No,
like,
no, no, no,
the
no.
second
No.
season of
No,
Fate
no,
Zero.
no,
Very
no.
different.
Okay. Okay.
Save yourself that humiliation. I swear
Okay.
to God.
I
Never. It is the very definition. The man literally just warps into another world. I don't know if he died or not, but like he just warps.
I forgot how he got there.
Like I remember convenience store, blink.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
on the streets. so
And then
okay,
there's
so
that girl.
yeah, there are so many. Like there's so many cuties.
Oh my
I'm on
God.
Team Red. ReZero. Again, very much like story driven. Love it to bits. It is about Natsuki Subaru. That is our main character, right? He's just out one day going to the grocery store, like buying his like daily necessities because he's a NEET or whatever.
Mhm.
But then he just kind of like literally, as I said, he kind of just blinks, and then all of a sudden he's standing in the middle of a fantasy street. He sees some like beast people, lizard men, and the whatnot, and the NEET that he is like, he's like, oh shit, like I've been transported into another world. And he's so excited and everything like that.
Yeah.
Right. So he's super excited to like get out there, try to see if there's like anything that he could do, right? And then he gets stabbed. And then he dies.
Okay.
And then he gets and then he gets reborn again to probably okay, so remember Erased, right? The plot of Erased.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like how I explained
No.
that to you?
Kind of.
Like I remember what you all told me earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's
Yeah.
kind of the same concept, except so the difference is that with Erase, it's moments before, right? He kind of dies.
Yeah.
So he's not, I believe he's not actually experiencing the pain. Whereas in this case, for Subaru, he actually has to bleed out and die first before reincarnating to a reset point, right?
Mhm.
To which it goes through this journey of him constantly like trying just to not die because dying is painful as fuck and it's terrifying to actually have your organs harvested,
Yeah.
you know, as an example, right? So he's trying to live like his life but he constantly comes through a lot of struggles, right? For instance, like he'll have definitely like mental breakdowns as a normal human person being should when experiencing so many deaths that he's been through, right? But he can't the caveat is he can't explain it to anybody. Like for some reason there's this mystical power that whenever he tries to explain to somebody that he's able to revive from death, like there's this feeling that he gets like around his heart, like as if someone has a grip on it, that he feels that if he's able to if he tells anybody about it, that is the end. That
Okay.
is the end. And he's terrified of that thought. And he constantly has to battle the world that he lives in and the fact that when he responds, nobody will remember what he's ever done for them, right? In those moments. Nobody he's a dumb kid. He has to struggle with the fact that not only he's a dumb kid, like knowing the fact that he knows certain things because of the resets, but not like characters will open up to him, right?
Yeah.
As an example, characters will open up to him, but then he dies, but those characters won't remember the relationship that they built
So when
already
he
with him.
dies, time actually goes back and so they don't remember it, or just like their memories
Yeah,
get reset.
yeah, they actually like go as far as we know, they actually go back, right, to
Okay.
the reset point, right?
Yeah.
And it is incredible, like the take of the struggle of someone who actually kind of like in a way has immortality. They're not able to die and experience multiple different lifetimes and have this type of information and not just be super OP about it though at the same time, right?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because they gotta deal with the fact that they gotta do the same thing or different things in slightly variations. But even if you do the quote unquote the same thing, right? Like you give a passionate speech about something to convince someone to do something, you're never actually gonna like do the exact same thing. One little tick is all it needs for someone to be like, I'm not really convinced, you know? So I'm not gonna join your side this time. Because it's impossible to actually replicate the exact same thing that you've done before.
Yeah.
As a human being.
Yeah. There's too many choices and variations between all of our choices. Yeah.
Exactly. Right?
Yep.
Very popular. Give it a go. You know.
I don't know if I've
Baraka.
seen this one or not. I've been
This was
trying
gonna
to
be
look
my
up.
second choice.
Ooh.
Oh.
This was actually my second choice, so I completely agree with Fu on this.
How much did you remember it before I had to explain it all?
No, here's the thing. I actually, from your explanation, it feels like I remember a more different story because you went more into like Subaru's like, his actual powers and shit, right? I was
Yeah.
too focused on the girlies when I watched it. So
Thank
like,
you. Thank you.
yeah, exactly, yeah. You get me.
I can't deny that. You know, I'm on team
Yeah,
blue hair lady.
exactly.
Rem.
Yeah.
Who you with? Who you choosing?
Okay, bro. I'm choosing the main girl. I forgot her
White hair
name.
bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, she's growing on me. The later season, she's growing on me. But at first, like you gotta admit, blue hair girl was like very top tier, especially with her speeches
Yeah,
and stuff.
she's top. She is top tier, bro. She is
Like
top
my
tier.
god, she's
Oh my
devoted.
god.
She's Rem best girl Kanye. Rem
Exactly.
is best girl.
For real, for real, for real.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna save
Good,
the
good.
middle one for last because that one's actually like my most important one, right? For
Okay.
me, like
Okay,
actual life.
okay.
I'm gonna skip that one. But the next one, my Kodomo Muke, is Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Guys, do I need to explain what Yu-Gi-Oh! is? You know,
Not
guys?
I'm
what
pretty sure we all know.
Yu-Gi-Oh is, yeah, but why you think
Why GX,
GX? Yeah.
Okay, so I come from like a weird generation. Technically, what I am Gen Z or something like that. But like a lot of the things I like is millennial. So I'm like in the weird in between. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! GX in specific is the perfect representation of like what I am. A lot of Gen Zs, you know, like Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, which is the motorcycle one. And obviously the millennials would love the original, which
Yep.
is Yu-Gi-Oh! But I grew up in the awkward time of in between. So to me, I did watch Yu-Gi-Oh first, right? But I feel like since I'm into TCGs and the whole card game and stuff, right? The heroes that the main character uses for his like cards and stuff, those are the ones that I found were really cool to me as a small child, right? They were I wanted the elemental heroes, the Avion, the Neoses, and everything like that. That was what my collection is, and I am a diehard even today for the cards that this character uses. And in my like, it's still it's the story cannot compare to like OG and 5Ds, I will admit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But season 4 of the main character, like his whole growing up, because he's a young, glowy-eyed individual, you know, like very talented, thinks very positive of the world, but like when you just like see him grow up, especially like I watched it only recently, right? I
Yeah.
watched it again recently. Season 4 specific was never released in English. So as a child, I grew up from season 1s through 3, and those were very much his wide-eyed childhood arcs, to which I can very much relate to. Except for semi season 3. But when season 4 happened and you see the difference, like you notice how he grew up to be so optimistic nowadays to now such a realistic character. You don't really like know that anymore in other like children's animes. Still like in children's animes, of course, they're still like, oh, inspirational messages, right? Like for instance, Pokemon's like be the very best, like no one ever was, right? Or in the original Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like look up, never forget your past because it's what
Well,
makes you
trust the heart of
are,
the cards, but yeah.
and trust the heart of the cards and stuff. Yep, 100%. But GX is like that's growing up through school, and I was growing up through school, so it hit me super hard. I love all the original cards. Those are some of my favorite cards. Uh, it's like a representation of how I felt kind of like school was for me, just like a depressing type of way to just grow up into adulthood, but still accept adulthood in the end of it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
To still have some spark of a childhood, even in adulthood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that type of thing really synergized with me. Whereas again, Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds are still very much hope. The light of the universe will come through in the end, and you know, very very childish kind of type of deals. 5Ds still like you're growing up from the slums. I get it, but like in the end type of deal,
Yugi,
I
what?
would
No,
relate more to
I'm
GX.
gonna let you finish. Okay. Yep.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No. Okay. Maraka, do you have a viewpoint on this before I
Oh,
go on my
oh,
spiel?
I mean, when it comes to the Kodomo Muke, right?
Mhm.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, yeah, those are like the basic things because that's literally what I grew up with too. Like all the kids in my school were either super
Mhm.
into Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, and they were collecting each or whichever card. I was a Pokemon kid, but
But
Yeah,
he
I
yeah.
had
guess
to
who
he
was
had
a
to
Yu-Gi-Oh one.
specify it. What do you think of Yu-Gi-Oh GX?
Well, I never watched it. I was again never
Okay.
really interested either.
The
So
Pokemon kid.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna just say, oh my god, the original one has such a better storyline and so many better like monsters. Dude, Dark Magician, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, three-headed Blue Eyes White Dragon, then the whole Egyptian God series. Oh my god, like Obelisk and Egyptian gods were put in there. Everything in GX and beyond is just like it's like they added in all the stuff that you don't need. It was bloatware. It was whenever the market started getting saturated. Like you don't need anything more than that original thing. Now I'll give you the outside storyline. I do think GX had a very much like plot, like other than just fighting monsters, better. I'll give you that. But the monsters are so much better in the first one, like, and the abilities and everything. I can't give you that one.
I am gonna argue the fact that, like, first of all, like the abilities of the giving credit to where credit is due. Yu-Gi-Oh is the OG. I'm not saying I don't love it for sure.
Yeah.
I still love it to the ends of the earth. But they made a lot of shit up, man. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, but so
Even
much
with
as
the
any
monster's
anime doesn't.
ability.
Like, I mean, name a more iconic or better Yu-Gi-Oh monster than either Exodia or the Egyptian gods. I can't tell you the iconic ones from GX or beyond, even though I watched them.
I mean, like, sure, terms of like iconic, people are gonna be able to name uh the Egyptian gods way better than anything in GX for sure. But I f- GX is probably where it really like defined the rules at the same time, right?
See, that's where
There's
I feel
still a
like
lot
they
of things where
added
they
the
make
rules.
stuff up for sure,
Yeah,
right? But Yu-Gi-Oh constantly is probably famed for its inconsistency of the rules of the game. And that's probably really important to me, especially when you're doing it to advertise for a legit card
I guess
game, you
I
know?
will say
Get your
that the
own rules
original one,
correctly.
like Pot of Greed, worked completely differently than how it did in the anime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll give you there were some inconsistencies there, but monster design wise, because you mentioned that, man, I don't think you can beat the original series. There's nothing like quite as cool as those original, like the fusions of the blue eyes and the Egyptian gods. Like
True, but
when the
like as
red
much
eyes
as
black
it,
dragon came out, even Joey, the secondary character, got to have his shining moments and stuff.
okay, so as much as I could say, I think this is just a matter of personal difference. Then that because I just love the hero archetype so much. At the
Yeah,
very least, right? I don't think after at least after GX, there's no better final duel. You know,
yeah,
like there are things people remember for sure. And at the very least, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX has a very solid Jaden versus Yugi moment. I know Yugi has its like on Yugi versus Yugi moment, and that's
yeah.
gonna remain top. But after Yugi versus Jaden, everything sort of like falls off from there. I personally, I can't really remember the final duels for the rest of the series,
Yeah,
right?
fair enough. All right,
So
all
I
right.
think it's still a very strong contender.
Yes, I'll give that to you in your personal sentimental values. I won't trash on it too much since you said it was a childhood grown up
Mhm.
one.
Okay. March comes in bottom left. March comes in like a lion. Have you guys heard of that one?
I saw clips of this. I like watched it, but I don't remember anything about it.
Okay, so this one, this one is my seinen, right? My shonen is the middle one, but like going to defend seinen, right? Of this choice of my seinen. First of all, the premise is that this is about shogi. This is an anime about shogi and the lifestyle of what it takes to be a pro shogi player, right?
Mhm.
So, but to clarify first, seinen, right? to me, at the very least, means that it's geared towards male adults, and I want to point that out, that it's like for, I guess, adults, right?
So
That's the main demographic, in the way that for me that means dealing with mature topics, right?
Hmm.
I would say that's fair.
Yeah.
And
I don't know this anime, so I can't say anything. But that's not what it says online.
well, no, seinen is the demographic for adult males, is it not?
Gotcha. For adult males, but
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
seems way
Yeah.
more tailored to adult women because it's romance, slice of life, and coming of age. I would give it
Oh, that's what you mean.
the female version of that.
Oh, it
Whatever
is
the
definitely.
female.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So then it wouldn't be seinen. So you got the what is the female version of seinen? Because seinen is
Josei.
male young
Josei.
adult. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
josei.
josei.
So it's josei.
Joseph.
No, I
No,
still feel like
no.
it's seinen. All right.
It's more seinen rather than Josei. Josei is very different.
Okay.
Okay, so with those
I'm
like
glad
type
at
of
that.
topics, right?
Yeah.
There's many B, C, D plots that's going along with just the main character, right?
Mhm.
As well. It is a whole collective of individuals just running their lives with each other, right? For instance, sure, our main character here is a pro shogi player, but we also follow the lives of this young family who's lost their mother very early on in the age, and they just happen to know the boy as well, in the way that like they're supporting each other in different ways. Definitely emotionally, for sure. That's probably the top. They have different roles in which they do that. For instance, the eldest sister is definitely more the mature role for everybody, right? Whereas the younger ones obviously deal with more pure subjects of just what it's like for regular day-to-day school life, but as a poor person rather, right?
Yeah.
So there's some like difficulties with them, and you'll see these people help and interact with each other in order to overcome their personal difficulties, right? Romance is still involved, of course, right? But I think that's just added on there because the main character's sister has like another romance plot,
Yeah.
right? But it's definitely not the main focus of the story as well. It deals with a harsh life. It just so happens that shogi is the driving force of it all, and you feel sometimes exact like you may not have ever really put your finger on it before, but when the scenes come in about a person's just like exhaustion, their viewpoints, you will feel it, right? From the visuals, from the imagery, from the music that it plays, right? You will feel exactly whatever character that you're focusing on is feeling in that moment as well.
Okay. It is under the sinning demographic. I can't say anything. Wikipedia listed as such.
Bam! Flawless!
So I can't do anything.
You guys
about
can't find nothing!
I wanted to so bad. I was doing so much research over here, but nope.
I
can't.
am like, what am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for 6. Let's go. All right. Next up is my shoujo, right? Yeah, my shoujo one. This one, I just really cannot deny. This is just one of my first shoujos that I ended up like just loving in the end, mostly because like, man, that's a pretty boy.
He is so
He
fun.
is like
Oh,
okay.
oh my god.
Kaicho wa maid-sama, which is my president is a maid, right? For droid is about in school again, right? But we focus on our main character. I think her name's like Misaki or something like that. To where she's the student council president. She has the top grades, right? But like, unfortunately, even with her difficulties of living in a poor household, she's able to maintain her social status of being the #1 student on blah 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 blah, blah or something like
Okay.
that, right? However, since she is poor, she has to work though, right? And it's technically not like allowed in her school to work or something. And especially so where the place that she works at is a maid cafe.
Okay.
So she is very desperate in the fact of trying to keep where she works in a secret. So it's like it's a rom-com anime, but obviously, you know, as all rom-coms go, a pretty boy finds out, right?
Okay.
And this goes into a whole spiral of different situations, right?
Is he
Because
like
this
coming into the cafe and like ordering from her and stuff and kind of teasing her with that he knows, or does he know like secretly and she doesn't know he knows?
Oh, he be teasing.
Okay.
He
That's
knows.
for
He
sure.
knows.
He be
Okay.
He's
teasing.
teasing her nonstop.
Okay.
But it goes a bit of like situational because he also has like a background that shouldn't be normal and everything like that,
Mhm.
right? So this is the main character, the girl, is like finding out all these like secrets about this hot boy, and it's like, oh my god, I
Okay.
cannot stress the
Mysterious
like
and hot. Oh my god.
mysterious, hot, cute.
And
Oh
he
my
can
god,
banter her crazy.
yeah, like, do you see? Have you
OMG.
Maraka? Have you seen his puppy dog eyes one? The time where he's just like a little sad
Yeah.
about it too. Like, oh my god.
Bro,
Oh
I would be
wow.
weak. I'm easy, bro. Yes.
New feelings were awoken that day for me. I'm like, damn. Is this what girls have been
All
raving
right,
about
guys.
in shoujo
Let's
anime?
bring out the
It's
cold water
crazy.
bucket. Let's douse the two. Come on, here you go. Shh, I need a water sound.
Whatever.
Horny jail. Horny jail.
Hey, it's not horny. It's just
Look, it's
appreciating hot men.
yeah.
That's
Pretty
called horny
homeboy.
jail.
Love him. He was in like a tuxedo, like in a butler uniform once, and that was super cray.
Cool.
I could go on and on.
Foo.
What the?
Foo.
Yeah.
Why specifically Maid Sama? Is it just because it's like one of the first ones?
It's one of the first ones that had like an impact, right? Like I didn't really get shoujos beforehand, right? They were more often than not like very not appealing to me, right? Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a boy and everything.
Yeah.
I think with Maid Sama, I was at a good enough like age period, right? Like I was nearing my teens or something like that when I first watched Maid Sama, and when I first watched Maid Sama, I'm like, oh yeah, I can like now I know that guys can be hot too. Why do
Okay.
you ask?
I not just because usually, you know, if people don't usually watch shoujo, that's their first choice too. Maid Sama or Oran High School Host Club. It's usually those two.
Ooh yeah, I
Yeah.
think the
Yeah.
Oran, it's the whole millennial Gen Z thing. Oran High School Host Club was very much millennial, but I unfortunately missed
I was
that
gonna
part
say
of the
I've
millennial.
heard of that one and watched like a few episodes, but I haven't heard of this one.
See, so that was like too early for me. But Maid Sama like fell right in the lines for it all for me. So when I first encountered Maid Sama, I was at the right age period to truly be able to enjoy what shoujo anime was about, and I've never regretted it since then. All right, let's move on.
One of the worst takes, the worst take that Fu has on
Okay,
his,
first of all, I'm
thread.
not gonna defend it. It's just I can't like find anything that I cared for. You know, like I told you about fighting food on from earlier, but
Yeah,
I don't remember too much of the plot. Just like
I would
fighting
have
food.
definitely
Haha.
respected
Silly-
that more than
silly,
this.
funny. I think at the very least, right? I
Yeah.
put Food Wars there is because A, I did watch it, and then B, I think if we're focusing on the cooking aspect, at the very least, it needs to tell you a recipe or at least a cooking tip at one point, at least for me.
Yeah.
And then B, it has to look good, right?
and it has to make you hungry.
Yeah, like it has to look good. We're
I
talking
have
about,
a
like,
question. Have you
Go ahead.
ever attempted to cook a recipe from Food Wars?
No, considering I don't,
They are absolute trash. That 1,000-layer like burnt croissant, like his like little fried rice and everything. If you follow any of the recipes in Food Wars, it's about the worst version of that food you could make and almost inedible. None of his stuff works in the real world. None of it. None of it. It's
Are you sure
all
it's not
horrible.
user error?
No,
Yeah.
it's not. People keep trying to
human error.
remake that croissant, and no one
I
has
don't know.
done it.
Binging with Bobish made it look really good. in
No,
my
he
opinion.
said it was trash. He said
There
it.
was a lot of
He
good
said it was trash.
things.
He said it
Oh,
was
I
trash,
think
and
he
he
said
remade
one
it
of
better.
them.
No,
I said one of them.
no,
I know he said
no.
one of yeah.
He said it was trash, and he made it better, and that one was better. But he said the food,
I remember the
the original
gotcha
version.
pork being pretty good. from
No,
what I remember.
no. They're
Mhm.
all trash. Try to make them yourself. You can make them better. Now, you can spice them up and make them better, but the actual recipes they give you there are trash. You just wind up with a burnt croissant or very bland, like, fried rice.
Then why are you just making those ones? Why don't you make the ones that's like mapo tofu or like the actual fluffy omelet and all
tofu.
that?
The fuck?
Bruh. You see, this is why.
You know what? How about
This
this?
is why.
Actually, here's a counter argument that I have. I just don't trust your tastes.
At this point, I'm sorry,
Red
Drake.
man, you're calling food trash. That I don't know. I like. Do you really have credibility?
I do. If it's not about anything that's fruits and vegetables, I'll admit I don't know anything there.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this calls into question to some of your
Again,
argument.
the
Okay, so-
bread lover saw that croissant and can never forgive him because it was a travesty to do that to a croissant.
Well, baking is different from the cooking. Baking is their side thing. It's not their actual main thing.
Yeah, if you want baking,
They're-
go to Yakitate Pan.
Yeah, or just watch Yumeiro Patissier. If you want baking, that's where it's at.
No,
It's just
no,
it's a different culinary aspect.
no, because he also made a meat dish that was like a pork stomach thing that was, again, it was bland. Everything he made was very bland. He never put any flavor or anything on it because it was the best ingredients with less, and that's honestly not true. But I remember him making a pork stomach. What did he do with the pork stomach? He did something that I looked at and I was like, that would be the worst way to cook a pork stomach that you could do. You just basically wasted that piece of meat. I forget what he did with it though.
Okay, but Droid.
Yeah.
Did it look good in the anime?
Now, I'll give you, they make it look good. It's hard to make food look bad in anime. Whenever it's drawn in that style and everything, it all looks delicious. But if we're talking about real world execution here,
Okay, but like we're okay, so like sure, real world execution, whatever. But we're talking about anime, the realm of fantasy, you know?
yeah,
I think in a cooking genre, Food Wars, right? Like, A, sure, it teaches you like recipes and whatnot, yeah. But B, the food definitely
I
has to look
think
good.
the
the
majority of
main
people
point of
watching
cooking
this
anime-
aren't looking
I-
at the food. This show was not about the food. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
This
it's
was
half about
every
the food.
teenage little
It was half
boy.
about the food.
This was every teenage little boy being able to be like, I'm not watching anything bad, Mom. It's just a cartoon.
I ain't gonna deny it, but like regardless, I think as long as it generates a interest for the genre, it's done its job, right?
The interest from this was not food. That's all I have to say.
I
There-
don't know.
This was borderline hentai. This was borderline
cooking it
hentai.
yourself, so I'd say like
I
it
have to
garnered
say-
enough interest from you, right?
I have to say.
Look, bait is one thing. When you reel it in, that's another thing.
This anime is one step
Don't
away
get
from
me
hentai.
wrong, the bait is
elicits-
the juiciest
it-
bait for
it
us to generate
elicits-
out there.
it-
I will agree to that 100%.
It
But when
elicits
we get
strong
reeled
feelings,
in,
but not of hunger. Let's just
That's
say
when we're
that.
hooked.
Or a different type of hunger.
Okay. I admit, okay, so this one though, like, it's on the corner. It's not like I'm not like, super proud of it,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
I'm okay with it being. But like realistically, again, there's not a whole ton of like cooking stuff. There's like sweetness and lightning and stuff like that, but when
What-
it's just cooking, there's like only 5 of them.
Yeah.
Bread, the bread one, the food fighting food one, Food Wars, and
many of
Sweetness
them.
and Lightning, which is just like child raising or something like that. Right. Like look, cooking was tough. I think.
cooking is a hard one for me.
All right, so we're gonna get into my last one then, which is shonen, and no one here can deny that this is shonen, right? I hope to God, because this is everyone's like probably a lot of people's favorite sports anime, Haikyuu,
Yeah.
the volleyball one.
That's the
Right?
problem. I'll give it sports anime, and I know that's technically in shonen, but I have never agreed with that. But continue.
Agreed with what? No, we're getting into
I
it
in
before I
no
forget.
way, shape, or form should sports anime be in anything shonen. Shonen in all of its definition should be like actual supernatural big things, like spiking a volleyball harder or kicking a soccer ball harder or doing basketball better is not in any way shonen, is not intense or interesting. In my eyes, I know it technically is. That's a hot take, 1000%. But yeah, shonen should be about like super powered stuff that's not realistic over just semi dramatized sporting events.
Bro, you're just saying supernatural. Just watch Supernatural if you want supernatural.
Well, no, but that's what shonen
Again,
is. It's
another
about
genre, bro.
abilities your average person can't have, and not just
Okay, but
semi
there are
over
sports animes
dramatized.
where there are superpowers.
Yeah, like Bakai, like I would say, is like a shonen still, but like you get into what's that big basketball one?
Kuroko no Basket?
Kuroko no
or-
Basket.
Probably. And there's a baseball one. What's that one then?
High
I forgot the
Fly?
name of
High
that
Five.
one.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, all those to me, that should be a genre in of itself. It doesn't speak shonen to me at all. Whenever I think of any of the other shonens I like, but I get by definition it was in Shonen Jump, and that's basically what makes it shonen. So
Well, again,
yeah.
seinen and shonen is just two different demographic targeted audience. One's targeted towards the teenage boy audience,
Yeah.
and then the other, which is seinen, targeted towards the male adult
I
audience.
have
right?
learned
It's
that
not
throughout
about
this stream.
superpowers.
I
It's
have
about
grown up with
Yeah,
the wrong
demographic
definition in my
is
head.
for. Shonen means young boy.
I have
Those young
learned that
boys
throughout
have
this stream.
superpowers? No, they do not.
Sports anime suck. Continue though.
Bitch. All right. I feel like I don't. Okay, so for me, Haikyuu. Candor says Haikyuu is good, but not the best sports anime. That is preference.
I agree with that.
Yep. I hate you both, but only because like I will admit that Haikyuu right now Haikyuu the anime hasn't like finished all the way to its manga, right? Haikyuu had remained to me second actually. I actually did like Kuroko no Basket a lot more for a long while, but it was
Yeah.
the very last arc in Haikyuu in the manga for me, at the very least, that really propelled it forward for me. This is a bunch of spoilers because I think Haikyuu is intended to finish, so I will refrain from spoiling the ending. Regardless, though, the main point of it all is that sure we have our classic sports tropes, right? Team building, the individual characters, the side B plots of the losses of every other teams that lost their games, even though they're super passionate as well and wanted to win, or just there are dynamics too between two different teammates as well.
Yeah.
As good as it I will forever now, right? We're actually look up to Hinata, which is our main character, the golden sunshine boy for the team, and his development through it all of coming through a, I guess not super prestigious volleyball career, right? Like he comes from like an unknown school and he's short, which is to like a lot of people, if you're short, then you're not really a good
Yeah, I
volleyball
can't
player
relate.
in the first place, right? Yeah, obviously. But he still perseveres through all of that, right? He still struggles. He still has moments where he trips. And it was also true with a lot of the other characters as well. They all trip at some point, and they all have so many inspirational moments that I will say at least this much. When you see the very embodiment of positivity, right? Because that's who he is. That's what he symbolizes. He's the sun for the team. That's what his name comes from. Hinata, like
Yeah.
the sun.
So wait, is that his nickname or his real name?
His
Like,
real
was it
name is
like a
Hinata.
foreshadowing part of it, or is that just what they called
Well,
him?
Well, it's more like a metaphor / imagery, right? Like
Yeah.
his name is actually Hinata, right?
Okay.
But if you take some characters from Hinata, like you get the sun and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotcha.
So he's the shining boy for his like the team for positivity. But when like you see him struggle, right? Like it hits so hard and so differently too, because you expect him to be better in a
Yeah.
way, right? You expect him to always be able to bring up like the team's morale, and he does. He does that job super well, right? But when it comes to himself and the challenges that he himself has to realize, right? Like that it goes from the dynamic that he wants to be the very best. He wants to stand out above all others, even though he's short and everything like that. But he comes to accept that he can stand out in different ways. He doesn't have to be the best spiker, as an example. He doesn't have to do all of the flashy moves.
Mm.
He slowly comes to realize that just building the foundations for his skills is
Yeah,
actually
you can be a
way
jack
more
of
important to
all
him.
trades instead of a master of one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's proven.
Yeah.
He's proven that too. Very very well, very phenomenal, because he used to only have one thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Candor Singh is going to bed now.
Oh,
Good
Con,
night.
good
Hi,
night.
Quan.
I was gonna ask.
Thanks for
You
staying.
said a cooking stream. I don't know if you mean me cooking or like talking about
Yeah, you cooking.
foods, but
You
No,
I
you
guess
cooking.
I can do a cooking stream sometime. It's
Anyway.
not very fun to watch sous vide, but okay, yeah. So, Maraca, what do you think about this one?
Haikyuu. If you want my take on it, bro, I didn't give a shit about it. I never watched it. I was more of a free girly, okay? I was into free. Now you know why, okay? Now you know why.
Morocco just wants to see boys wet.
No. No, it was specifically Makoto, bro. Makoto is so hot.
Uh-huh.
He is.
Yeah.
That one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you
Yeah.
get me now, right?
I know.
Yeah,
Who's
that's
Makoto
why
though? Is
I
that
never
Maid
got
Sama
into
guy?
Haikyuu.
Like, look at his body. I know.
Was that
And the
Maid Sama
smile,
guy?
bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Was that Maid Sama guy? Who's that guy?
No.
No.
It's in free. Oh,
It's
bro,
about
that guy.
this one's about
oof.
swimming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now that's the sports that I watch. I didn't care about
Oh,
Haikyuu.
you're a Michael Phelps
Everyone
fan.
else, yeah, everyone else was super into Haikyuu. I was into free.
Morocco wants to see the candies, you know? Like she's like, don't see the candy people.
So Maraca is basically choosing
Yeah, I'm in it for
like
the
your
story,
food wars. Yeah. Oh yeah, the fan service
No.
is there,
Food Wars was
but
annoying.
Still, regardless, the final arc of Haikyuu, at least for me, again, like it's good, right? Throughout all of it,
Mhm.
I again didn't put it as the best, but the final arc in the manga, like to me, was one of the most inspirational things for me, like ever. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm here in Japan in the first place, right? Or at least why I got the idea.
nice.
If it
Like, in
wasn't
what
for
way did it
Haikyuu, I would
relate
not
back
be
to that?
here. What's that?
In what way did it relate back to that? Just you liked the manga or anime and it was from that culture so you wanted to go, or how did it relate from like
No, just
reading
like
that
it
to
was,
wanting to go to Japan?
without spoiling, right? It was about Hinata's, like the main character, his decisions and his own story in the final arc that led me to think like, yeah, I'm gonna take that chance, right?
I gotcha.
And like it will be
I
tough, and it has been, but like it's been amazing as well.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
understand that. I like inspirational manga. If you like or anime or anything like that, like if you have a scene that you really like and you can like watch over and over or think about over and over and it like gets you pumped, like I think that's great. I have a few
Mhm.
like that. Like I love the Deku scream on the trash heap whenever he's like earning his All Might powers and everything. Like that one choked me
Oh
up a
yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
Which animes have you guys cried to? Real quick though.
A lot.
Which one's number
Anohana.
one?
That's the first one that comes to mind.
Ooh, actually, I did not cry to Anohan. I was close though. I think I was close. I think
That's
I
wild.
to be fair, I watched something beforehand that made me cry, so maybe that like prepared me for it. But
Maybe.
The only
For
one
me,
I
it's
can
Anohana or Clanad.
The only one I can
Ooh.
think of is My Hero Academia, and it was at multiple points
Really,
in the
man?
story.
Why
It
is
was at
wrong with you?
multiple points in the story.
Why?
I just felt
I-
Deku, man. I felt Deku. Yeah. And then like when Uraka was screaming at the crowd to just let him have some fucking rest. Look at this dude, he's saving us all and everything. Like, oh my god, Uraka's speech on the top of UA Academy, that one teared me up.
That was a good scene as well, I must admit. Okay, shall we wrap it up though, guys?
Oh
Like, how
yeah,
would you-
we've been here for a while. I appreciate for you all staying on and talking to me for this long too. I know it's a long stream for at least Maraca. I don't know about Fu, but
Yeah, I'm so good.
I'm fine.
I appreciate it all. So I guess the final thing is, so Maraca's was, I guess they called it mid, like not a hot take, not a good take. It was mid take by Fu. I guess I was
We need
voted a
more.
hot take because I
Yeah,
got
yours is a hot
categories
take for
wrong
sure.
and stuff, even
Yours-
though my
It was
categories
either
were right.
plain or hot garbage.
And then I guess Maraca, what is your rating on Fu's?
I mean, like Foos is like. I mean, like it hits like the most basic stuff, so I'd say like a solid 7.
I'm flawless. I know I am.
I'd have to give him it would be
There
about
was
a
no
6 would be the
refutes
highest.
that I could not defend.
Except sports anime set.
Sure.
And
okay,
Food
sure.
Wars is a
I
hentai.
dare you to post that on Twitter and see how that goes.
I'll do it. Don't challenge me.
Do it.
Real
I'm
sports suck
challenging
too.
you.
If it's not an
Mhm.
extreme sport, it's not interesting.
I'm
But-
actually watching
This
Blue
is
Law.
all you watch is like the fighting ones, okay?
No, I don't watch fighting
Yeah.
ones. I actually don't like that. I like skydiving, snowboarding, skateboarding, like
No, I mean the animes
Flying.
that you watch. All you watch
Oh.
are the anime ones, the fighting animes.
Yeah.
No. I have a lot of other
Like the
animes
bread.
in there. No, like I say, I like Heaven's Design Team. I liked there's a couple
Yeah, but
non-fighting
wasn't your
ones.
best?
What? It wasn't
Clearly
my
you didn't
best.
put it up there for your
No,
best,
yeah,
so-
because you all said out of all time. I chose out of all time, which are all basic generic choices because they're the best, you know? It's basic and generic to choose Pokemon, but it is the best. I had you all said out of all time. I tried to make a 2023. I could have filled out a pretty good list with 2023 stuff.
I'm old, bro.
Wow.
I can't do 2023.
Well, I mean things you watched in 2023, not that came out.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
nothing, bro.
yeah,
I'm
like I
telling
watched.
you, nothing
I
in
loved
2023.
Maggie. I loved Maggie. That would have been my fantasy choice if not for Sword Out Online because
So why is Sword Art Online better than Magi? that.
it's more original to me. It's one of the original fantasy ones I did. And like I say, I
Magi
will
is not
rewatch
original.
it. I don't know if it. I just watched it for the first time last year, so to me, it's not. It could
What
be
other-
one.
What other is like Magi though?
What other is like Magi?
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, so it's original.
but what I'm saying is though, like I just when I'm saying like it's like droid original. Like when I was younger and I was still like making myself, I remember like seeing Sword Art Online, going out of college, hanging out with Seth who loved it, watching it with him and everything. And so that one's the personal ties type thing. But
Sword Art
I
Online has ruined you clearly.
well, yeah, if you say out of all time, I have to answer that one.
Shake my head. Shake my head.
But all right, good night, everyone. We're gonna go to a be right back screen because I'm gonna be switching to Fall Guys. But if anyone wants to stay on Morocco or Foo, but I have a feeling y'all are going off and doing your things for your day. So we'll go to be right back. We're gonna go to music and then we'll end this off.
Okay.
Bye, stream.